Yo, what's up? We revolt if no fanfic. You will all behave. So everybody has to behave today. Okay, hold up. I don't know if that's slight foreshadowing for some crazy shit going on. Okay. Everybody's gonna behave today. Got it. Lord, alright, bet. We're all behaving today. Hey, that means you too. You also gotta behave today, okay? Can we do that? Okay? Cool? Here, do you wanna lay down or do you wanna go down? Pick. Pick and choose, girl. What you wanna do? You gonna sleep with me right here on my lap, or are you gonna go? Yo, everyone, what's up, dude? Easy, did you see the new fan arts on Discord? New ones? No. I didn't see new ones. Let me see. Before we start, I am almost done with my ice cream. Hold up. I'm actually almost done with my ice cream. Let me finish. You wanna go out or you trying to stay, Ellie? Pick. What do you wanna do? She wants to go out. One sec, guys. 12-hour stream today? 12-hour stream is gonna have to be on. It's gonna be on. Fuck yeah, man. I need ice cream, man. I got hot today. Oh, man. When is it? When is it gonna be a long stream? 85-hour stream? Yeah. It's gonna be. Hold up, give me one more minute. I'm almost done. Depends on how long the fanfic is. Don't worry, the one I got is super short. It's super. It's not even a chapter long. It's super short. It's probably like one chapter's length or less. I'll be honest. 1 week non-stop live stream, like camping torture, but for LOTM. You know what? I don't even think it's torture. It'd be like, it's like a camping retreat. And we titled it like the LOTM retreat. That could work. That could work. All right, I'm now done. We're good. And we're ready. Man, I was so locked in on that ice cream. Woo! I'd go for more, but no, we can't. Stream today, 2 to 3 hours. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling that great right now. Had a slightly long day, but that wasn't gonna stop me from canceling stream. We all sit in a circle reading LOTM together. I know, man. I love it. We'd love to see it, dude. Okay. I don't think I have water yet. We can get water later. I think we're good though right now. So I think I'm gonna start changing my thumbnails more frequently. Hello. What's up, Zet? Hello. So the new one, I put the Dark Emperor, or Klein's persona as the Dark Emperor. So I think whenever there's like a critical point like that, I'm gonna just change the thumbnail to whatever fits, right? Like maybe when it was the Lenavus fight, I could have just made that the thumbnail. I don't know. I feel like I know I kind of did, but I think I'm gonna start changing it a little bit more. That way, it just doesn't look like the same thing over and over again. You said we finished Volume 2 in 2 streams, so next year in 12 hours. But I did say that we'll be done in like 2 streams. We will be done with Volume 2 in like 2 streams. Okay, we'll be over before you guys know it. More text and the artwork channel than art now. Was there a lot? Petition to put them on in every thumbnail. You know what? Tell me why I want to put them on in every thumbnail. Every thumbnail, I want to put that damn molecule. When he volunteer easy, is going to lose his mind reading it. You know what's crazy, bro? It's kind of funny. I've told my girlfriend the gists of Lord of Mysteries, but I've never told her like the specifics. I've told her in the beginning. So I was explaining the whole story again. And I was explaining sealed artifacts, and I was like, guess what the quill does? Long story short, I was like, guess what the quill does? And then she was like, oh my god. So I know she was paying attention. She was paying attention. She was like, oh my god, what if the quill is what summons you to another world? And I was like, I've never thought about that. But, okay, we know the quill is like whatever you write happens. But she was like, what if you like, whatever you like, the quill is what summons you to the different world. I was like, holy shit. I was like, babe, you are onto something. I was like, you're cooking right here. I was like, Maybe not like the quill, because I explained the quill. I was like, what it now I'm over here thinking, what if like the original artifact 001 is what summons you like through different worlds? I was like, oh, I thought about that on the spot. Oh, I didn't think about that on the spot because my girl had to give that context for the quill. And then I was like, oh, wait. What if like the original item, like the original sealed artifact is what like helped Klein and Roselle transmigrate? The kitchen? Yeah, who said you can go outside for help? I didn't go outside for help. I was testing my girlfriend's knowledge. I was testing her to see if she was paying attention to my hobbies. I was like, well, actually, Lord of Mysteries is a really long series per se. And then I was explaining everything. And I was like, guess what the quill does? It's like, oh, it's what summons you. And I'm like, wait, no, that I was like, that doesn't make sense because like whatever you write happens. And I was like, wait a minute, I've never thought about this. I see Miss Easy Geek is actually the chef. Not gonna lie. Like maybe she was the actual chef all along, and I've just been the sous chef. All right, okay, we're not gonna stall. We're gonna go straight into the chapter. Oh my God, flashbang! Holy shit! All right, I'm feeling good today. Knock on wood, guys. Knock on wood, please. That's where he gets his theories. Is like unironically, my girlfriend is the one that it's been saying all the theories, and I just say out loud what she says. She actually texts me her theories like during the stream, and then I just read them out loud, and I take her credit. Fanfic first. Do you guys want? No. Do you guys want to read my fanfic first, or do you guys want to save it for later? I have to go get my phone. I left it outside charging. Actually, no. Here, I lied. Let me leave my phone charging, and I'll read it after. It's like a chapter long. Fanfic. Here. It might set the mood. Pull it. We'll pull it. I'm gonna go get my phone while we do a poll. Wait, no, that's starting a goal. We don't want to start a goal. Start a poll. My first fanfic. Fanfic first. 1 chapter long. Alright, I'm gonna go get my phone in the meantime, and I'll let you guys pick. Now, because what if it's a hype moment is happening and we get a fanfic, and we get fanfic blocked? Okay, hold up. I'll be right back. I'm not even gonna look at the results yet. Let me go take this out. I'm gonna go get my phone. We'll see what the results say when I come back. I love you too, Ellie. Sorry if you guys heard me barking at my dog. Is bro gonna be a chef with this fanfic? Is it going to like this forbidden ship? Alright, hold up. I'm gonna look at results. Let me put on my headphones. Ooh, okay. You guys might like it. Ellie is singing for us. No, that was me. I was the one singing. I was the one. Yes? Hey, you know what? I love you guys. I think you're gonna love it. Alright. Let me get my phone. This is gonna be a little embarrassing. You know? I don't think I've ever read a fanfic out loud. You know what? I don't even think I've ever read a fanfic. I've read, like, what ifs, but not... Unless you consider what ifs fanfic, then yes, I have. Let me go my notes. Okay. It's 3 chapters. Well, I mean, like, It's like one chapter long, but it's like, and it's like less than a chapter's length. It's like a paragraph per chapter. We need mood songs and lighting. Okay, hold up. You know what? We're gonna play this. I think this would fit. This would fit the love triangle. It's a love triangle. Wait, I don't want to spoil it, what it is, but it's a love triangle. You guys will like it. Don't worry, we don't judge unless it's Milosh. Are you guys ready? Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It's gonna be a little embarrassing. You know what? Hold up. Let me see. Let me put it on my phone. Hold up. I think it'll be easier if I just read it from my phone. I mean, if I read it from my computer. What the fuck am I saying? Where's the select all? Come on. Select all. Come on. It's not fucking select all button. All right, give me 2 seconds. Damn, I just read that ending. I'm like, damn. I was like, that was a really good final sentence. I was like, I kind of clicked with that one, not gonna lie. And then, oh, can't spoil it. Let me put it on my notes. New document. We're gonna label it fanfics. Okay, then we're gonna paste this sucker here. Damn, such a beautiful ending. There's a three-way. No, so like here's the thing. Whenever it looked like it was saying something, that was like when it diverted from the fan fiction, I was like, wait, no, this sounds like too specific. And then I would stop reading it, I delete it, and then just like, oh, okay, no. Like, I was like, no, that can't make it. Anyone who judge, you guys can judge. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna love it. You're gonna want more. Not gonna lie. When we're done reading it, you're gonna want more of this every week, bro. I'm telling you. I'm gonna read this sucker, you're gonna be like, bro, I need this shit every week. I need this fanfic segment every single week. Cough, cough, ban. Fucking OG. It's like, you make fun of the fanfic, you get banned. Hold up. How, can you put... Is dark mode an option on this or not? Hold up. I don't like reading on this. I got so used to reading on dark mode. Let's just... put it on my notepad. Son of a bitch sucks on my notepad. Oh, this fucking sucks on my notepad. Oh, this looks ugly on my notepad. Chapter 1. This works. Okay, this works. Well, easy. Went full director on this fic. Hard work. No. Alright. I got a little special chapter for you guys, okay? Here we go. No judging. Chapter 1, Between Realms. Well, are we good? Are we good? We're recording? Yeah. In the dim world of Tingen's rainy streets, Klein Morty sat alone atop of the gray fog world. But tonight, something was different. A new glowy star shimmered, pixelated for a moment, then stabilized. A voice echoed in his mind, soft, curious, and mysterious. Hey, anyone there? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Across realms, in a cultured bedroom and modern-day world, Easy Geeky blinked at his screen. He had been living... I'm already messing up my own thing. He had been live streaming a deep dive into the lore of Lord of Mysteries when his monitor glitched. Not the unusual tech hiccup, no. This time, a Victorian-era man in a top hat was looking directly at him through the shimmering stars on his second screen. At first, they panicked. Klein thought he was under some strange Beyonder influence. Easy Geeky... Hold up. I actually can't read this on my fucking notepad. I'm reading it on my phone. This is... Hold up. I actually can't read this on my fucking notepad, bro. Holy shit. The text is throwing me off, bro. I got so used to reading it one way for like 5 months that I can't read it anymore. Well, I lost my place like 2 minutes in. We're like a minute in and I lost my fucking place. On the screen, at first he panicked. Klein thought he was... oh, yeah, here you go. We're going to read from here because I couldn't read my notes. At first, they panicked. Klein thought he was under some strange Beyonder influence. Easy Geeky assumed he'd fallen into a rabbit hole of augmented reality gone rogue. But tonight, After every single night, they kept returning to each other. Through Klein's ritual and eagerly late-night OBS streaming, the two formed a strange channel, a crackling between worlds. They shared stories. Klein told Easy Geeky of potions and pathways, of secrets buried in Tingen's graveyard. Easy Geeky reintroduced Klein to the internet, fast food, and anime. Oh, and donghua. I forgot to add that part. And donghua. Klein was skeptical, but oddly fascinated by the cute cat videos Easy Geeky showed him on his free time. Their bond grew in whispers and chuckles until one fateful night, a cosmic convergence never before seen. You only have 1 hour in my world, Easy Geeky warned him, nervously adjusted his webcam. 1 hour to be real with me. Klein stepped through the veil at midnight, like the Midnight Channel from Persona. He arrived drenched in the fog world and wondered. Dusted his coat into the otherworldly mist. Easy Geeky opened the door to his stream lair, stunned in silence after he returned home. Sorry, I'm stuttering my words already. Sorry, I'm already messing up the read-through. You're taller than I imagined, Easy Geeky whispered into his ears. You're warmer than I dared hope, Klein replied. That night, 1 hour stretched like eternity, filled with shared glances, awkward smiles, and the electric tension of hearts that had found each other through impossible odds. Thank you for the fire. When Klein vanished at dawn, he left behind a folded card, the full, etched in gold, and his promise. I'll find a way to stay longer the next time. And Easy Geeky, now determined more than ever, whispered back into the silence. I'll wait as long as it takes. How are we feeling? You guys ready? Chapter 2. You see, like, it's quick. It's only 3 chapters. We're almost done. That was chapter 1. That's the setup. That's the setup for this story between the two men, right? And now, chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called Roses, Rituals, and Rejection. Klein hadn't been long in Tingen before he sensed something was off. The air shimmered more than usual, and his inner warning told him he was being watched. Not by an enemy, but by something far worse. Can you guys guess what it is? Leonard. With a rose between his teeth. Good evening, Klein, Leonard said, stepping out from the shadows like a theater actor who missed his cue. The red moon is full tonight, a symbol perhaps of passion yet unspoken. Klein sighed and adjusted his half-top hat. Leonard, why are you outside my window reciting poetry again? It's not poetry, Leonard said, dead serious. It's my feelings for you. And that charming mortal you speak to through the mirror screen, the one with the antivirus sponsorships and beautiful eyes. You watched his YouTube videos? Klein asked, deeply disturbed. Every single one, Leonard replied. He's quirky. I like that. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Easy Geeky got the full story from Klein during one of their nightful calls through the Misty Realm portal app they'd accidentally built using mystical charms. Easy Geeky stared at the screen. So your poet cop friend wants to date both of us? Yes. Klein deadpanned. He wrote you a haiku. Easy Geeky blinked. I don't even like haikus. Exactly, Klein muttered, rubbing his temples. He left it on the pigeon and told me to pass it on to your sweet-voiced glass prince. The next time Klein and Leonard crossed paths at the Church of the Evernight, Leonard cornered him with a bouquet made of actual spell paper. I'm serious, Klein. I can love you both. We could be a triangle of mystery and shared whispers. No, Klein said to the 4th time this week. Leonard started. No, Klein replied. Easy, watching through the mirror screen in real time, chimed in. Dude, read the room. Leonard turned towards the mirror. You're so snarky. I love that about you. No, they both said in unison. I could summon us a shared dream realm, Leonard tried. Leonard said, my bad. Leonard, Klein said slowly, this is becoming harassment. Leonard sighed, I'll be back at my place if either of you change your mind. And he leaves the scene. As he dramatically exits with the sound of violins playing in the background, probably summoned by an actual musical spirit, Easy laughed. You two really do live in a soap opera. Klein smiled tired. I'm messing up my words. Klein smiled tiredly. You're the only one I want in my life. Easy grinned. Now that's a good kind of cringe. That's what I said. Yeah, I said that. Klein laughed. The sound soft and rare. In both worlds, something clicked into place. Awkward, sweet, and entirely theirs. But somewhere in the shadows, Leonard was probably already writing another poem. No, wait. We can't judge. Wait. If you're judging, you're not going to judge. Are you guys ready? Final chapter. You're going to read this final chapter and be like, damn, man. That was pretty good. Are you guys ready? Leave while you can. No. Just enjoy it. This is it. Final chapter. Final chapter. Final chapter. Are you guys ready? You guys are not gonna see this twist coming. Are you guys ready? Final chapter. The quill behind the curtain. The storm broke over Tinkin with a fury that echoed through both worlds. Lightning split the sky as Klein and Easy stood together beneath the looming red moon, their hands linked across realms, heart finally beating in sync. Physically seeing each other once again for more than an hour. Leonard had a long last backed off, mostly because Klein had very sternly promised to accidentally send him to the afterlife if he didn't. They'd survived spectral hauntings, a mildly aggressive love poem encoded into a cursed artifact, and on one particularly awkward dinner where Leonard showed up wearing matching outfits for all three of them. But now, peace. Real, fragile beauty, mundane peace, until the fog twisted at the edge of the world. A quill hovered in the air, writing furiously on the parchment that shimmered with unreality. It scrawled out dialogue faster than thought, pausing only to correct Klein's sarcastic tone, or adding more pinning stares between scenes. Klein felt it before he saw it, the wrongness that tugged on his soul. He turned slowly. Easy's form flickered. Oh my god, I can't read. The cathedral stretched, the stars above the dance. Oh my god, I can't read. I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. The stars above danced too perfectly. No, Klein whispered. None of this was supposed to be scripted. From the shadows, footsteps echoed like thunder. Slow, deliberate, and then there he was, in a crisp, silky smooth outfit, a smirk carved onto his cruel face. Ince Zungwil. Bravo, he said. As he's clapping, clapping sound effects. Really, I didn't think this triangle of love would go this far. But Leonard added such flavor, don't you think? You, Klein growled, reaching out to him, you used it. Artifact 008? How could you? Ince grinned like a playwright I couldn't call. Behind him, the quill hovered, glowing with unnatural light. Of course, what better way to spend time together than creating drama? You two were so entertaining. Klein, the reserved hero haunted by loss. Easy Geeky, the sarcastic outsider full of heart. Leonard, our wild card. Tragic, thirsty, relentless. Wait, don't lose control just yet, guys. Hold up. I swear it has a happy ending. He sighed like an artist, admiring his masterpiece. You made the love triangle? Easy Geeky asked, flickering between the worlds. Why? Ince tilted his head. Because I wanted to watch a rom-com. The silence that followed was thunderous. You psychotic fool, Klein said, stepping forward. This wasn't your story. It was ours. Ince shrugged. Everything written with 008 was oh my god, I can't read. Everything written was because of me, and because of me alone. I lost my place in my own thing on my own notepad. How could I? Oh my god, this is so bad. It's only our first fanfic. We'll improve with time. As he finished his thoughts and the quill became heavy, it slipped away from Instant Gwill's grasp. Klein reached out and brought Easy Geeky back to the world with one simple sentence. And then everything became silent. Here we go. We're almost at the end. Easy became real. No longer a mirage. No longer just code blending into the mysticism. He stood beside Klein, breathing whole, unscripted. Ince Zungwil screamed out of anger, and he decided to go home because this wasn't his story. And in the wake of that silence, Klein turned to Easy with a tired smile. Now, no more love triangles. No more cursed haikus. Just you and me. Easy nodded, and maybe one more normal dinner. Without Leonard. Definitely without Leonard, said Klein. Above them, the stars burned clearer and brighter than ever before. The end. Was that good? We need Dunn to save us right now. You know what? We'll bring in Dunn for part 2. What do you guys think? That was pretty good, right? Peak? I'm somewhat of a writer. Captain, we saved the stream. How long was that? It was like that was like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was about a chapter. I think that was pretty good. Leonardo got you got screwed over, bro. Easy over Cuttlefish. Hey, I didn't say that. He said that. Thank you. All right, I hope you guys like that. 1 chapter per stream, but I don't think we can do that. Maybe like once a week or something. All right, that was it. That's all we got. Domain expansion fanfic. Bro, so many possibilities. Maybe you guys gotta tune in next week for another one, but we'll see. Stop stalling. Oh yeah, no more stalling. Now we get back to the real reading. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Check out fan art snacks. All right. Let me, if you want, I can read it after. Time to, yeah, now we gotta lock in. Because I've been live for, wow, almost 30 minutes. Damn. Okay, take back the dislike now. How could you, Cammy? No, I'm kidding. All right, let's continue. Let me just put my notes over here. We need an Easy Geeky X client, X lit. I told you guys needed it. Was it good or was it not good? It was peak, bro. All right, let me close my notes. Let's close this. Fucking flashbang. Oh, we need Easy Geeky X Client X Leonard fan art, but I'm not that artistic, but you guys let me know. All right, let's continue. Just play it from up here. I hope you guys are ready. After that beautiful fanfic we read before this read through, we will now read Lord of Mysteries. So I hope you guys like that. I thought it was kind of fun. It was fun. You are the one whispering corruption into Easy's ear. I think I corrupted some of you guys right there. I hope none of you guys went insane from that. Please don't lose control. But that was, I think that was a pretty good fanfic. All right, you guys ready? Lord of Mysteries, chapter 381 is called Conjectures. Okay. I skipped all the stalling. It wasn't stalling. It was meant to be. It was a necessity. That was a necessity. All right, now we're here. We are now here. And let me put your guys' chat down here so I can actually see chat. So if something crazy happens, you guys just gotta just at me and then I'll be able to see the message. All right, we're good here. Bear with me. I'm sorry. It's fucking taking me way too long to adjust these tabs. Holy shit, I'm trying to get the size. Son of a... What the fuck is going on? Can I just fucking adjust it? I can't even... I don't care. We'll leave it like that. Someone clip it to Romero. No one spares. It's cool. I'm gonna post it. You don't even have to clip it. I'm gonna post it on... I'll post it on YouTube. Oh, this will probably be up on YouTube before today's read through. But here we go. Our awesome intro is out the way. We'll make that fanfic Romero would glaze easy. We're gonna make that little 10-minute read through its own little video. I think it'd be funny. Okay, chapter 381 is called Conjecture. By the way, I hope you guys are all having a beautiful, amazing day, man. I had a pretty shit day, but you know what? I was like, I gotta stream. You know, I gotta have some fun with you guys. Best intro yet. Thank you. Don't worry, the fanfics will only get better and stronger from here. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. If we have to get corrupted, so are the others. No one gets left out. It's okay. We'll post the video. We'll post the video today. Chapter 381 is called Conjectures. With a crackle branched lightning lit up early winter night with a slivery white flash. It didn't smite the ground, but instead it tore through the air, illuminating the spot where Klein stood, as if it was daytime, making him stand out. Spellsinger of God, Ace Snake, retracted his gaze. His face was gloomy as he whispered, Rose School of Thought. It's not a wraith, nor is it an undead creature. The mature middle-aged man with a pair of golden eyes. I thought it was going to be a golden molecule. Never mind, it's not that. That's a different person. The mature middle-aged man with a pair of golden eyes turned his head to the side to look at Capim's corpse and said, covering the target's corpse with tarot cards. This is the second time something like this has happened in the past 2 months. When was the first instance? Cardinal Snake asked in a deep voice. The mature middle-aged man in the well-ironed formal suit coughed lightly and said, the time when the true creator attempted to descend into the world with the help of a swindler. Then it's not the Rose School of Thought. Cardinal Snake made a definite judgment. Although those organizations that worshipped evil gods weren't fond of anyone, they wouldn't deliberately follow the plans of their counterparts. Instead, they whispered to see their counterparts succeed, waiting for them to make a mess of the situation. I think so too. Perhaps it's the appearance of a new secret organization. It kind of is. Their characteristics feature is 2 scattered tarot cards all over the target's body. The middle-aged man smiled, and the different apprentices of the tarot cards implied different meanings. The different appearance. This corpse had 2 cards over his face. One is Judgment and the other is the Emperor. The Emperor Judgment. is the motive and goal, while the Emperor is the organization's code name. Of course, this might also be a type of ritual. Cardinal Snake didn't respond as he surveyed the area. Let's see what exactly happened here. It was only at this point in time that the first batch of mandated punishers arrived at Captain's Villa. Okay. Above the gray fog, having only used paper figurine substitutes thrice and not being pushed to his limits, Klein was about to use his divination to confirm Daisy's safety afterward. Daisy will successfully return home. Holding the spirit pendulum in his left hand, he closed his eyes and silently chanted the sentence. After repeating it 7 times, Klein opened his eyes and saw the topaz pendant turning counterclockwise, but it moved with a very slow frequency and a tiny amplitude. This means that Daisy's journey home will be quite a bumpy one, but almost negligible. After interpreting the revelation, Klein was relieved of his final concerns. He then looked at the 2 items in front of him, both of which were radiating with a strong spiritual luster. One of them was, the characteristics! One of them was a light blue translucent hexagonal pillar. There were traces of light flashing through it as though it was lightning that came from the depths of one's consciousness. This was the bionic characteristic left behind by Ma'am Katie. The other belonged to Parker, who hadn't been able to play a role in the battle. He never even fought. His bionic characteristics had condensed into a ball like a child's fist. This fist was made up of 3 colors: iron, black, and dark red colors intertwined with a large swath of silver. Klein didn't hesitate to conjure a pen and paper. He was ready to use these 2 bionic characteristics to bind the corresponding potion formulas. Before he advanced to Sequence 7, because of the additional influences that had been left on the bionic characteristics he had, it was almost impossible to use divination to determine the formulas. Even if Mysterious Space could help him eliminate the interference and increase his divination ability to a certain extent, it still wasn't enough. Therefore, the only method Klein could use in the past was mediumship. After he became a magician, he was preliminarily able to determine it using bionic characteristics for a divination above the gray fog. However, there was a high probability of him failing. This time, without exception, Klein had shamelessly failed. However, he also had some gains. Some gains? He's been hitting the gym, dude. I'm not sure, Cammy. I'm a little between 2 to 3 hours. Oh, thank you, Hollow. He read my mind. One would say that was a coincidence that we said at the same time. However, he also had the same gains, and that was able to find out the corresponding sequence names of the 2 bionic characteristics. Parker is a Sequence 8 sheriff, and Katie is a Sequence 7 interrogator. Oh. Wasn't Klein being interrogated once at the police station? Aren't these from the Arbiter? Oh, it's from the same pathway. Sheriff and interrogator. Aren't these from the Arbiter pathway? This path is controlled by the royal family, the military, and a small number of ancient aristocratic families in Loen. Any leaks of formulas and bionic ingredients are dealt with harshly. Could a number of girls abducted by Captain be sent to a state of some aristocrat? But there's no need for them to send 4 beyonders to help Captain just to enjoy themselves. It obviously doesn't make sense. Haras is much more powerful than Katie, so perhaps he's a Sequence 6 of this pathway. After wearing that glove, he might even be as strong as Sequence 5. Could it be that they're involved in some bloody heretic sacrifice, and the target they seek cannot be exposed? Apart from those on the inside of the kingdom, Fane and Potter's Castilla family also possesses this Beyonder pathway, which is then transmitted to their army and intelligence system. Could this be another espionage case of some unknown nature? Klein tried to divine a few of his conjectures, but he failed again. He temporarily put this matter to the back of his mind and lightly tapped the edge of the long bronze table as he muttered to himself, "As long as I have the formula with the corresponding supplementary ingredients, these 2 bionic characteristics will be able to turn a person into a Sequence 8 sheriff and a Sequence 7 interrogator." So now he has that. Okay. Miss Magician's friend, who's called Shio, seems to be liking the bionic ingredients for sheriff. I can sell Parker's bionic characteristics to Miss Magician through the world so that I can quickly amass the money needed for the ingredients of the faceless sequence potion. We're so close to it. However, always doing it through the world doesn't seem rather appropriate. I deliberately left tarot cards this time. If Miss Justice were to hear of this matter, then she would definitely believe that it was done by my adorer. I'll let Mr. Fool do the selling on his behalf. That makes sense. So it's not like it's the world the entire time, because then they would like suspect him. Like, why is it always him? Like, oh, maybe he's actually, yeah. Okay. Klein quickly finalized a plan and made the sheriff and an interrogator beyond her characteristics, slide to the corner and hid it among the junk of pile. I wonder what the names are for Arbiter Pathway Sequence 6 and 5. It seems like something that uses orders and laws. Judge. Klein put away those thoughts and closed his eyes midway to carefully observe his current state. Once again, he felt his spirituality become lively at the potion. As the potion stirred, he felt that his digestion of the potion had sped up. This time he had confidence, based on his intuition, that he had concluded most of the magician rules. The remaining minutiae mina something were good to have, but it didn't really matter if he lacked them. Mina something. The remaining mina something were good to have, but it didn't really matter if he lacked them. It didn't significantly affect his digestion process. Conjuring a fountain pen and goatskin, Klein enhanced his memories by writing the magician rules. Number 1, Aura Farm. Wait, no, I'm kidding. Number 1, never perform unprepared. Number 2, challenge the impossible even if the final outcome is nothing but an illusion. Okay? Klein believed that these were the 2 core tenets of the magician rules. Grasping them would be a key, as the rest were supplementary for perfection. 3, take the initiative to perform. 4, try to get applause from the audience. 5, wield control of the target's attention. Oh, I didn't think about that. Wield control of the target's attention. Putting down the dark red fountain pen, Klein skimmed through it and judged them by himself. Daily acting together with 3 or 4 proactive acting instances would be enough to allow me to digest the magician potion before New Year's. If I were to challenge an impossible performance during this period, then my progress would be even faster. This is roughly at the speed I wish to achieve. There were still about 2 months till January 1st, 1350. After doing all this, Klein rubbed his temples, prepared to return to the real world. After putting away the Dark Emperor card, the biological poison bottle, and other items, he suddenly left and said deprecatingly, challenge the impossible. Isn't that equivalent to courting death? Okay? You guys been mentioning that a lot, okay? Isn't that equivalent to courting death? What does that even mean? Like, you're avoiding death, right? I assume that's what it means, like, avoid death. Or, like, tread on death's door. As his voice echoed, Klein's figure disappeared from the space above the gray fog. In a cheap hotel in Buckland Bridge area, he suddenly opened his eyes and saw that the candlelight of his summoning ritual. After quickly cleaning up everything, Klein put on a thick worker's jacket he just bought for 4 soldi and went out to the window. He picked up the sweet iced tea that he had bought earlier and looked at his blurry figure, which was reflected in the window. There was a heartfelt smile on his face as he whispered, "Cheers." Just as he finished his sentence, he touched the glass with his cup. He then lifted his chin and downed it in one gulp. Then he sauntered out of the hotel. The nearby gas lamps were already fully lit up, and the pedestrians and carts were bustling above, oblivious to the explosion at the border between the Sherwood Borough and Westborough. Klein strolled around the Bravehearts bar for a while, and at 7:58 he knocked on the door of the Beyonder Gathering organization by Eye of Wisdom. He wore an iron mask and a hooded robe, acting completely ordinary. Meanwhile, Shio, who went to various places every night to check on her contacts, saw a sign that had never appeared before. It belonged to the golden masked man who had sold the sheriff's formula to her at the gathering organized by Mr. A. It was a sign of an emergency meeting. Is she going? He hasn't come looking for me all this time, and I've been pretending that it had never happened. Why would he suddenly... Oh, no, this is something else. Why would he suddenly... Shio thought for a moment before deciding to take a look. The golden masked man had promised to give her some missions, allowing her to save enough money in exchange for the corresponding Beyonder ingredients. Therefore, Shio switched areas and marked the time and place of the meeting. Half an hour later, Shio walked out of her hiding place after secretly observing a remote alley that also extended in all directions. She walked towards the golden masked man. The man was still wearing his black tuxedo. His light brown eyes swept over Shio's head. "There's a mission for you. Difficulty and compensation," Shio asked like clockwork. The man nudged his mask with which was forged with gold. It's not dangerous, but it can be very dangerous. It all depends on what you do. The initial compensation is 30 pounds. If you can acquire useful information, I can even directly give you a Beyonder ingredient corresponding to sheriff. What's the mission? Shio said with a frown. The golden masked man gazed, turned heavy, and said, "Through the channels available to you, figure out who has been who has been recently... Oh my god, I can't read. I'm so sorry. Through the channels available to you, figure out who has been recently been keeping tabs on Captain. Okay, that's what it said. Captain, that human trafficker, Shio returned with a question. If only she knew. The man nodded. Yes, I reject this mission. I hate him. Shio immediately refused. The man opposite her chuckled. You aren't working for Captain because he's dead. That dead? Shio was instantly stunned. He died at home and his body was covered with tarot cards. There were 2 cards on his face, one judgment and the other was the Emperor. By the way, pay attention to the matters in the past few years which involved tarot cards but were not reported to the police, the man added. Okay. Okay, that sounds exciting. Chapter 382 is called Hero Bandit. Klein is the Dark Emperor Hero Bandit. So, is he supposed to be like, the Hero Bandit, so he'd be like, oh my god. Like Robin Hood, right? Right? Are they gonna like call him Robin Hood? Judgment card mentioned. I'm excited for whoever Judgment is in the future. But let's pause, update, and let's keep going. Let's keep her going. Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, I'll be honest, man. Sorry if I'm a little low energy. Today is like not my day, but it's okay. We're not gonna let that stop us. Chapter 382. Just I'm a little schlump. I'm just a little low energy today. Yeah, I'm noticing like my eyes are kind of heavy. But let's keep going. Let's update this before Mysterious Fool says something. Oh wait, no, Mysterious Fool isn't here today. Yeah, I think he was showing off, man. Earlier he was I can't be here because I'm receiving an award today, and I'm like, okay, bro, showing off. You're getting an award, okay. Hero Bandit Black Emperor. Klein new moniker goes hard too. Klein new moniker goes hard too. Hero Bandit Black Emperor. Judgment card mentioned. I keep hearing Captain as Captain. I'm trying to make sure I don't say Captain. 2 different people, man. One is good and one is disgusting. Hey, what should we title our fanfic, by the way? Should it be like Lord of Mysteries fanfiction? Lord of Mysteries fanfiction. And then asterisk Klein's love triangle with a question mark. I think that could work. Sorry, thinking out loud. But let's keep going. Chapter 382. Captain did nothing wrong. Fucking shit. Chapter 382 is called Hero Bandit. Sherwood Borough and the house Shio and Force rented. Force was just finishing the beginning of her new book and in her good mood prepared to reward herself with a cigarette. When Shio pushed open the door and entered the study. Smoking is harmful to your health, Shio sniffed. Force didn't argue with her when she saw her puzzled look. Instead, she asked, looks like something happened to you. She scratched her rough blonde hair and sat down on a nearby chair. That person from before contacted me. The person who sold me the sheriff formula to me through another person at Mr. A's gathering. He gave me a relatively simple mission. The initial reward is 30 pounds. I don't even know if there are any hidden dangers. Forrest thought for a moment and then said, that person, there should be an organization behind him. But why would they want to rope you in? Aren't they afraid of being implicated by your intelligence, thus causing the entire organization to be completely destroyed? There's nothing they really need from you either. Your looks are barely passable, but you're too short. So perhaps your life is relatively more valuable. What mission is this? Shio was used to her good friend's snide remarks as she ignored what she said in the beginning. She directly answered the second question. Investigate if there has been anyone keeping tabs on Captain recently. Captain, the keeping trafficker who deserves to be hanged. No. Burned to death. Although Forrest wasn't a bounty hunter, it was her writer's instincts to gather materials, so she often asked Shio to tell her stories and news that she had learned. Shio nodded. It's him, but he's already dead. He seems to have died rather miserably. How did he die? Was he sliced to death by a knife, bit by bit? Force asked, pleased, and she asked, pleased and curious. The person didn't go into detailed description. Perhaps it'll be mentioned in the papers tomorrow. Shio thought for 2 seconds before continuing. He only mentioned a rather special situation at the scene of the death. He said that Captain's corpse was covered in tarot cards. His face was covered with judgment and the Emperor cards. The judgment card probably meant that it was a judgment on Captain, and the verdict was death. But what does the Emperor card represent? The murderer? No, that hero's identity. Ah, Hero Bandit. As a bestseller author, Four instinctively began interpreting the unique layout of the scene of the crime. Suddenly she froze. Tarot cards. The corpse was strewn with tarot cards. Four suddenly thought of the secret organization she had just joined, the Tarot Club. It couldn't be us, could it? However, none of the members had the code name of the Emperor. If it's really the case, then this is the first time I found traces of the Tarot Club in the real world. We're not just a secret organization that only exists above the Grey Fog. As Four's emotions churned, she felt pleasantly surprised and also worried. She was surprised. Under an attendant's lead, Klein entered the familiar activity room. There was only one candle in the room. The dim yellow light made the surroundings look like a scene from a ghost story. Coupled with black robes and iron masks worn by the mysterious people, the atmosphere turned even more intense. The moment he stepped in, Klein suddenly had a baffling sensation. He felt the flickering candle flame staring at him. He felt the flame would burst and ignite his hair and robe. He felt that the curtain behind the oriel window would suddenly flare up, enveloping his body and covering his nose and mouth, forcibly choking him to death. What's happening? Klein was stunned as he turned extremely tense. It wasn't a premonition for danger, but a feeling that was hard to avoid. Klein carefully found a seat and sat down. Is he digesting? No, this is something else. The moment his buttocks touched the surface of the chair, he felt as if the chair would explode and the thick wooden thorns would end up piercing through his body. This reminded him of the videos he had seen back on Earth due to the explosion of a low-quality gas cylinder under the swivel chair. The steel pole and the debris had stabbed into the seated owner's buttocks, drilling into his abdomen. The whole scene was filled with badly mutilated blood and flesh, a ghastly sight. What the hell was he watching on his free time? I don't think that's on YouTube. Why am I always making such bad associations? Is it because of the damage done to my spirit body from the battle earlier? Klein looked around thoughtfully and saw that the fat apocryphy had still not attended. What happened? Or has he already left Backland? Klein murmured something to himself and heard Eye of Wisdom announce the beginning of the gathering. In the course of the next few years, Klein felt as if the chandelier on the ceiling was going to fall sideways and smash into his head. He thought that the coffee table in front of Eye of Wisdom would suddenly move sideways and stumble over him, and he suspected that the members of the gathering around him were full of malice and might cause him trouble at any moment. What's going on? It made him fidgety, alert, and puzzled, and he was too distracted to pay attention to deals that either ended in success or failure. I think I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I got it. You know what's going on? It's the Dark Emperor. It's like physically, not it's like spirit. It's cook, bro. It's like spiritually affecting him, right? I think the card is like actually having a kick. So this is what's happening. I'm so confused. I thought he was like digesting his potion, but that's not what's happening. Klein has schizophrenia? Probably. That's probably what's happening right here. No. I think it's the card of blasphemy. So like, even though he can like take on the persona of like the Dark Emperor, I think it's actually starting to take a toll on his like actual persona. Maybe. Oh, that is scary though, bro. So like, if he uses all 22 cards of blasphemy, then all of a sudden he's gonna be embodying like 22 different personas, you know, and then like that's kind of scary. In the course of the next few hours, I read this part. It made him fidgetily alert and puzzled, and he was too distracted to pay attention to deals that either ended in success or failure. If one is to say that a premonition for danger is like an occasional vibration, reminding one that his spider sense. If one is to say that a premonition for danger is like an occasional vibration, reminding one that the news of entering the room or an incoming phone call, then the feeling I have at this moment is akin to an electric drill, boring constantly, causing me to be unable to relax or pay attention to anything else. Klein tried to rub his forehead, but it only touched the cold iron mask. It's because he took we're still cooking. Because he took the Dark Emperor card of blasphemy, he's so on edge, right? Like, what's the Dark Emperor's like endgame goal? To like rule everything? Like, what is it? Like, have his own kingdom? If you need that, you can't be soft. Like, you have to be alert and aware at all times. So like, he's feeling what, like, he's unironically acting as a Dark Emperor, and he did like, what What did I say, like, early on in Volume 1? That the seer pathway would be able to, like, fully pick and choose from any pathway? Or, like, he can choose any at, like, at a high sequence? Easy gonna make his chef girlfriend cook with him immediately after stream. Like, yo, girl, like, I need you to help me out. I need you to cook with me. I hope you're listening. Wait, no, that sounds mean. Like, I need you to cook for me. I didn't mean it that way. Well, we cook together, by the way. Let's keep reading. I read this. Klein tried to rub his forehead, but it only touched a cold iron mask. At this moment, he felt as if his iron mask would suddenly cave in and stick close to his face, embedding itself into his brain. Is it really because my spirit body was damaged, so it's making me hallucinate? Nah, it wasn't because he was damaged. Klein frowned. He originally wanted to make a request to buy the 1,000-face hunter's blood and mutated pituitary glands at this meeting, but in such a situation, he could only give up out of caution. Although the level of Eye of Wisdom's gathering wasn't high, and there wasn't a high probability that it wouldn't involve a high-level monster like the 1,000-face hunter, Klein believed that a lot of the members here also attended other gatherings and might be able to come into contact with the relevant information and clues. Amidst his anxiety, Klein attended the gathering as a bystander. Just after taking off his robe, removing his mask, and leaving the room, the feeling that everything in the room was going to harm him had instantly disappeared, disappearing into the oddest manner. Ooh. This, Klein's pupil shrank, confirming that his previous experience didn't originate from the damage to his spirit body. Otherwise, he wouldn't have experienced two completely different states, inside and outside. It's not his spirit body. It wasn't damage. The card of blasphemy was fusing with his spirit body. Easy following Lord of Storm's followings. Wait, what I mean? What I miss? He wouldn't have experienced two completely different states inside and outside. He suspected that there was a person or creature in the activity room of the gathering, one that was invisible, impregnable, and extremely terrifying. That entity had stimulated his spiritual perception as a seer and his... Oh, never mind. So it wasn't a card. And his spiritual perception as a seer and his sense of danger as a clown. But because of the entity's suppression of some other special reasons, this stimulus appeared in the form of a rich association that failed to make him realize it. What could it be? This is too scary. Just the existence itself made him... I know what's... The Dark Emperor, like, manifested. I think the Dark Emperor card, like its spirit body, like, actually manifested. Right? Who could it be? This is too scary. Just the existence itself made me have a reaction similar to the symptoms of losing control. Without making a sign, Klein left Eye of Wisdom's house and headed towards the nearest street. All of a sudden, he had a guess. Wait, so it's not that. Damn, that would have been a pretty good theory if that actually turned out to be true. The Bravehearts bar is nearby, and it's also monitoring area for Rafe Steve, who was killed by Miss Sharon, Merrick, and I. Is it Rafe Steve? Did Rafe Steve try to, like, go to him? Their deaths would definitely make the Rose School of Thought High Sequence Beyonders angry, and he would cast his sights over there towards the Beyonders living near the Bravehearts bar. Was that him? Fortunately, I used the biological poison bottle in the sun brooch tonight, and to prevent myself from being divined, I left him above the Grey Fog. Otherwise, the results would be unimaginable. The magician who had just completed an impossible performance would be killed directly here. The Beyonder world is truly dangerous. Inside the Holy Wind Cathedral, Cardinal Ace Snake looked at Captain of the Mandated Punishers team and asked emotionlessly, "Who is Captain? Why is there an underground dungeon in his villa?" The captain of the Mandated Punishers team replied immediately. Wait, inside where? Oh, inside the Holy Wind Cathedral, Cardinal Ace Snake looked at the captain of the Mandated Punishers team and asked emotionlessly, "Who is Captain? Why is there an underground dungeon in his villa?" The captain of the Mandated Punisher team replied immediately, "He's a tycoon, one who is rumored to be related to many cases of missing girls. He's suspected of being a human trafficker and that he is secretly engaged in slavery." So when like they didn't do anything, like they knew that, they just kept watching and like left him be. Easy church right there. Yark. Wait, what happened? The underground dungeon That underground dungeon proves the rumors. Why did a human trafficker receive the protection of so many Beyonders, and their sequences aren't low either? Cardinal Snake pressed. "Your Grace, this requires an investigation. We tried using Beyonder means to find clues, but all of them failed. The captain of the Mandated Punchers team replied, somewhat trembling in fear, I've tried it too. They're scared. Cardinal Snake didn't blame him. This member of the Church of Lord of Storms upper echelon paused for a moment before continued to investigate this matter, also find that sequence 6 or 5 Spectre. After his subordinate had left, Cardinal Snake picked up his fountain pen and wrote down in his notebook a number of subjects to place close attention to. Captain, human trafficking, tarot card ritual, strange specter without a high sequence, concealed plot. In Emperor's Borough, the opulent villa of Count Hall, Audrey was waiting for the maid to cut open the food when she heard her father, Count Hall, who was used to reading the newspapers at breakfast, laugh. Captain, even he hated him, dude. Captain is dead. Who is he? Audrey asked with her eyes wide open. In fact, she wasn't the least bit curious about who Captain is. She was simply going along with her father, who obviously had the desire to share his thoughts. This was both her Oh my god, I can't read. This was both her specialty as a daughter and the innate nature of a telepathist. He's a tycoon who secretly might be a human trafficker. He has rather good ties with some people. Heh. Count Ha chuckled. He was killed last night. There were obvious signs of him being judged at the scene of the crime, so the newspapers are calling the murderer a hero bandit. The hero bandit Dark Emperor. Oh, they named him after the codename of the rulers of the ancient Solomon Empire. What a coincidence. Hero bandit Dark Emperor. Dark Emperor. Audrey immediately thought of the card of blasphemy belonging to Mr. Fool. This was the item of the highest level she had come into contact with so far. She suddenly became interested in Captain Murder. It sounded interesting, although it's illegal. I still want to say that the hero bandit did beautifully. Oh, Dad, how did it go? The police and relevant departments of the church didn't divulge any exact details. I haven't met them either, but this is what's said on the papers. The hero bandit was dressed in black armor and a black crown. He had a cape of the same color behind him. After he entered the captain's villa, not only did he steal all the valuables in his safe, but he even stole the lives of Captain and his evil henchmen, rescuing girls who were locked up in the underground dungeon. He scattered tarot cards on the captain's body, and the most prominent of all were the 2 cards covering his face. One of them was Judgment, and the other one was the Emperor. Count Hall held the newspaper as he described it with a smile. Tarot cards, Judgment card, and the Emperor card. Audrey's eyes suddenly lit up. That's cool, dude. Hero bandit Black Emperor farming aura via the journal. That was pretty cool, dude. Like, I like how now he has like this whole new persona. Like, he's just Batman. He's just Batman when it's nighttime. When the suns go down, he's like, I am the darkness. Okay, let me pause. I need to get G Fuel. My eyes are a little heavy since I am a little tired, but I do want to keep reading. So let me go get some G Fuel. Hold up. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Hold up. Let me get some G Fuel because I'm trying to stay awake. Klein about to be mad? Why is he going to be mad? He's proud, dude. How you guys doing? Let me drink some of this. Yeah, man. I think we might keep stream to 2 hours today. We have like 1 more hour. It's like, fuck, man, I'm so out of it. But oh, username's heading out. Oh, losing control. I'm gone now. Yo, what's up, Red? What's up, guys? Whew. All right, let's keep going. Oh, you know what's funny? I don't know if Cammy's here, but he was all like, play the Devilman Crybaby song. This other big YouTuber has it up still, so I don't think it's copyrighted. I played it during the live stream. I immediately get a message, video blocked in like 250 countries, partially blocked. And I'm like, well, I don't think that song worked. No, you're good, Kevin. I know. I was like, what the fuck? The way they setting you up, Red Devil? What'd I miss? He said hello. Do you guys think that he's really drinking G-Foam? Of course. It was up for a whole year on Twitch. I know, that's why I found crazy. I thought it worked too, because you said, I mean, it was up for, the video's still up. It is, it's G-Fuel. I'm just using my protein cup, because my G-Fuel cup, I haven't washed it. Cammy is plotting against you. Let's keep going. Oh, man. Nah, it's milk. Nah, no milk. I'm actually out of milk again. I gotta go buy milk again. Let me do my timestamp for 383. G Fuel mold? No. I always buy my G Fuel in bulk whenever they're on sale. When it's buy one get one free, that's when I start buying them. All right, timestamp. Let's do this. We are. Oh man, my eyes hurt just looking at the screen. Holy shit. 28 minutes, 41 seconds. But that's not gonna stop us. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're strong. We're better. Persevere. Persistence. Oh no. Returning home. Okay. Update chapter? Did I not update it? Shit, I didn't update it. Thank you, Hollow. Alright. Oh wait, this... I was making a new Lord of Mysteries playlist. Trying to put music more in order. So just... We'll just play it from here now. Oh, also look. My award ceremony is over. What did I miss? You missed the fanfic, Mysterious Fool. You missed my fanfic. Don't spoil it. I'm gonna upload the video. Hey, so look, whenever there's a boss fight or anything crazy, we can play this one. We can play this song. Watch it. Not this one. The Dark Colossus is the dark or no. We can play Shadow Lord. This one goes hard. This track goes kind of hard. So when this song fits in Lord of Mysteries, because I'm pretty sure there's a moment where it will fit. It's okay. Easy is going to spread mass corruption after stream. Yeah, once we post that fanfic, we're gonna spread some corruption. All right, you guys are gonna have to post that on like every Lord of Mysteries Reddit thread. I only miss fanfic. Fate is on my side. Hey man, people said it was pretty fire. It was pretty good. Yo, you missed the fanfic, Romero. Man, it was crazy, man. This shit was fire, bro. Someone called me the new cuttlefish. I was kind of... That was a little bit too much of a high praise, but I'll take it. Chapter 383 is called Returning Home. Audrey could almost be certain that it had been done by Mr. Fool's adorer. When she heard the description of the familiar scene, she suddenly felt a strong sense of immersion, participation, and pride. This was a human trafficker whose hands were stained with blood and evil. The judgment card is a retribution enacted against him in the name of justice. And the name of justice was the verdict hanging, beheading, or burning at the stake. The Emperor should be a symbol of his identity. Was this adorer who sneaked into the Royal Museum and stole the Dark Emperor card? Audrey let her imagination run wild for a moment. She had attempted to press for more information and finer details, but from the look of her father's face, the tone of his voice, and the color of his emotions, she could tell that he still didn't know what was going on. Therefore, she could only suppress her curiosity and planned on asking her good friend, Kans Lirshin from MI9. Although directly asking Kantz about it would suit my image and aspect, that would still be rather abrupt. It would also conflict with my identity as a noble, huh? I'll get Annie to prepare a few invitations for an afternoon tea party, sending them separately to Glaint, Kantz, Murphy, Christine, Jane, and the others. Most of them are interested in mysticism, so they would feel interested in someone known as the hero bandit of the Dark Emperor. Under my guidance, they can help me ask a lot of questions that wouldn't be convenient for me to ask. It's decided. Audrey retracted her attention and nibbled at her breakfast. She believed that Mr. Fool's adorers wouldn't have dealt with Captain purely for the sake of punishing evil, since it wasn't in line with his identity and status. Of course, if Audrey was still the same Audrey who had just joined the Terror Club a few months ago, she definitely would have been willing to accept such an explanation. Otherwise, she wouldn't have chosen Justice card as her symbol. After experiencing so many gatherings and so many matters, she felt that she had matured a lot and was no longer as innocent. She believed that there had to be more important essential factors behind this matter, such as an evil god or a secret organization which Captain was involved in. I hope Kantz can provide some useful information, Audrey thought with anticipation. 15 Mink String, Clang was eating white bread with jam, flipping through today's newspaper. What a safe. As he read, he almost choked on his own saliva. It wasn't me. I didn't. Don't spout nonsense. In his mind, Klein immediately rejected the description of his theft of everything in the safe thrice. Let me reread this. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. I didn't. Don't spout nonsense. In his mind, Klein immediately rejected the description of his theft of everything in the safe thrice. The situation... What? Safe? As he read, he almost choked on his own saliva. The situation had been pressing, and in order to gain clues, all he did was burrow into the safe to see if there was an important documents or evidence. Despite having found the safe, he didn't take anything, and he quickly left the safe and went to another room. Of course, Klein, in his spirit-body state, had also suffered some damage from the gas explosion, and the total weight of the items he could barely carry had been greatly reduced. There were only gold bars, jewelry, land deeds, house deeds, antiques, and other items in the safe, which were either not convenient for him to take, or there were no way he could launder them. He's trying to launder them. Perhaps he has a place reserved especially for cash, but unfortunately I didn't find it, nor did I have the time to look for it. Klein muttered silently to himself, confirming that it was the subsequent investigators who had divided up all the contents in the safe. He looked at the newspaper, took a sip of side black tea, and slowly exhaled. He smiled inwardly. Hero Bandit Dark Emperor. I like that name. After breakfast, Klein put on his thick, double-breasted frock coat and half-top hat, and he held a solid black cane. Opening the door, he left Mink Street for Bronx Axe Lane on the boundary of East Borough. This was where Daisy had disappeared. After finalizing his plans yesterday, and before he committed to his operation, he had deliberately made a trip to Broken Axe Lane to seriously look for clues. He knocked on the door of the nearby houses and asked if they had seen any girls like Daisy. Although Klein didn't believe that the official Beyonders would think that a poor family would be able to afford a hero bandit who had at least the strength of a Sequence 6, and he believed that there was a higher probability that the investigation would be directed towards the secrets Captain was involved in, supplemented by those who had been keeping the tabs on Captain recently, and other peripheral investigations. He still cautiously decided to put on the show and tried his best to play out the entire act. What if one of the Beyonder enforcers lost their mind and planned to make a preliminary investigation in this aspect? Some families might have some savings and would be able to hire other detectives. Their chances of being suspected as a kind-hearted person like me who had just took on the case yesterday are extremely low. As long as I'm not suspected, they wouldn't compare my performance from the previous Lendezvous case. Besides, the Nighthawks were the ones who took action previously and were assisted by the military special department. Captain's case happened in Sherwood Borough, so the ones taking on the case would likely be the mandated punchers. The communication between the two groups wouldn't be that smooth, huh? Katie and Parker belong to the Arbiter Pathway. I wonder if the military will intervene. As a former Nighthawk, Klein had a sufficient understanding of the modus operandi of the various official organizations, their work styles, and their investigation habits. I'm gonna call it right now. Mike bugging out. My bad. Let me lower it a bit. I think I know what's... Dude, one day, Klein is gonna have to reprise his role. I think it is spiking. I need to lower it a bit. I'm almost like betting money. I'm confident. I will bet one membership that Klein will reprise his role as a former Nighthawk towards the end of the series. And he's going to be like the big shot. It's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be so good. I go now. There are 3 mods online. Bye. Good night, guys. It's super. Thank you for stopping by for a little bit, OG. Clip that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry it's so late for you, dude. Good night, bro. Hey, good night, OG. Thank you for stopping by for a little bit, man. Sorry you had to bear through my fanfic. I hope you liked it, though. Simply put, I have excellent anti-detective abilities. Klein gave a self-deprecating laugh as he boarded a carriage. He was going to continue his investigation into Daisy's disappearance. After all, he was an ordinary private detective who hadn't been able to confirm that Daisy's disappearance had anything to do with Cap'n. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Daisy returned to the shabby rented apartment under the escort of the police officer in charge of the neighborhood. Although with new pitiful girls like her, she had been settled into various cathedrals in Sherwood Borough last night and had been questioned accordingly. It included what they saw when they escaped, what they saw when they looked back, where they lived, what their family situation was, and if they knew any friends who were put out of the ordinary, and so on and so forth. Daisy, I scrolled down too much. Daisy, who was still in a state of panic and lingering fear, answered the questions truthfully. After that, no one came to her again. She slept through the night and was sent back to Eastboro early in the morning, where she had handed over to the fierce police officers she always saw. I'm sorry, I'm like a little out of it. I'm noticing my reading comprehension is going down a lot right now on this stream. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Along the way, Daisy didn't dare to say anything. She trembled in fear, and only when she entered the apartment where she lived did she feel a little more at ease. As soon as she stepped through the door and before she could find her mother and sister through the hanging wet clothes, she heard a scream. Daisy. Frey just stopped whatever she was doing and, like a nimble fawn, darted through the clothes hanging in the air and random things on the ground. Aw. She ran to the door and hugged her sister tightly. I'm about to cry. Then she let go of her hand, and with tears streamed down her cheeks, she sized Daisy up with a pleasant surprise and concern. Klein better be like spectating from a distance and be like, yeah, I brought them together. Are you alright? It's so wonderful that you're finally back. Liv also stood up from behind the wash basin. She wiped her hands on her clothes and asked, rubbing her eyes, Daisy, where have you been these past few days? At that moment, the police officer interrupted. She was kidnapped. We rescued her. We rescued her. Thank you. You guys are too great. Liv shed tears and randomly used an adjective. The policeman coughed lightly and said, that's our duty. Have you met anyone strange in the past few days? Liv was stunned for a second, hoping to not be involved in too many matters or get into any trouble. She said, no, I really haven't. The policeman waved his hand and said, be more careful in the future. Don't take deserted shortcuts again. What? Oh, don't go in the alleyway. Don't take deserted shortcuts again. He couldn't stand the humidity at the multitude of smells as he turned and left. Liv looked at her daughter again. She took wide strides over to her side and wiped her hands on the side of her clothes before hugging Daisy. It's good that you're back. It's good that you're back. She murmured through her ears, not asking if Daisy had been hurt. Daisy relaxed and sobbed. Besides her, Frazier was also crying. She stretched out her arms and hugged her mother and sister respectfully. The 3 of them cried for a while before letting go. That is so sweet. Liv wiped her eyes again and said, wash the clothes first. There are still a lot of them. Like, get back to work. That's so sweet, man. I'm so glad he was able to help this family reunite, man. Daisy, who had just been rescued, nodded and quickly threw herself into the busy work. It wasn't until noon, while they were nibbling on the black bread and drinking plain water that could hardly even be considered tea, that Liv finally had time to ask, Daisy, were you hurt? Daisy shook her head. They just hit me a few times. That's great. The police rescued you. A kind detective was willing to help search for you for free yesterday, and you ended up returning today. He still has your vocabulary book, Frazier mentioned in passing. Already prepared, Liv mentioned, I'll get old Kohler to get it back and tell the detective you're home, say that you won't have to busy himself over this matter. Regardless, we'll have to thank him again. Daisy felt relieved as she replied to her sister, "No, it wasn't the police. There was a sudden explosion and the doors that kept us locked up were strangely open and we just ran out. However, I did see a gentleman or a lady on the roof. He wore a black armor, a crown-like helmet, and a cape. He just stood there watching us quietly. None of those bad guys came to stop us or chase us down." Oh, that's so cool, dude. As a tutor at the free school, Daisy clearly had a richer set of vocabulary than her mother lived. "A person dressed like that saved you," Liv answered in shock. By the way, Fraser curiously waited for the answer. Daisy nodded seriously and said, "Yes, he's like what the bards sing of. A hero. Hero. Hero." Fraser ruminated over the word, her eyes as bright as the stars. In a certain secret chamber, a group of people were carefully comparing the setup? In a certain secret chamber, a group of people were carefully comparing the Lenavus case with the Capum case, using the information they were given as they searched for similarities between the motives and modus operandi something. The two things cannot be linked together at all. The only things they have in common is evil, or rather, evil was defeated. "The owner of the tarot card has upheld justice," someone exclaimed. It can be considered that the two cases did involve the same person. The difference in strength is obvious, and what they're good at is even more contrasting. Although it's possible that their sequence had been elevated, Captain's murder was a kind of specter, or someone that can switch into the sequence state. That's not something common. Another person's analysis was endorsed by the majority. Therefore, the person who called the meeting concluded, "Two cases, two different people, but they both threw out tarot cards. Perhaps the latter was committed by copycat crime, and if that's the case, we can target the people who are aware of the Lenavus case. The other possibility is that there is an organization." An organization symbolized by tarot cards? Yo, dude, that is so cool. That is so awesome, bro. Yes, let's update. It's so cool that now there's like all these crazy like gatherings happening with other organizations trying to like get to the bottom of this case. And they're like, it's a new group, it's a new organization, and they're using tarot cards. So it's like the Tarot Club is finally making a name for themselves. Thank you, D. A new organization enters the fray. It literally sounds like a Smash Bros intro. Like a new fighter. It's like a new organization. All right, pause, update. Let's keep reading. I'm feeling a little bit better. This fucking G Fuel is waking me up, man. Oh, wait, debate. Wait, what? What am I saying? Sorry, man. I'm a little out of it. 42. But we good. We're still here together and we're hanging out. 42 minutes and 33 seconds. Beautiful. Heads up, tomorrow, it's 50-50 on if we stream or not. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be 50-50. I know next week I won't stream on either Thursday or Friday because I really want to go watch that movie Sinners. I also made the video private because there was a restriction and I was too lazy to go back and like mute the song or like add a filter because yeah, it was a whole thing. These past few days we had so many streams. You know what? I think we've been doing pretty good. We only had like one weekend where I was like incognito for like a few days. Both Easy and Anime was it was funny tuning into a stream. So I'm like, so this is what it's like watching a person read. And then when you're like, oh shit, Easy's making him stall, I'm like, yeah, did it work? It's like, it's working. It's like we gotta keep the I was like, we gotta keep the head start, bro. It's like brothers and sisters, we have to stay strong. Oh, it was so funny. It was so cool, dude. Yeah, I left pretty quickly though. I was there for a little bit. It was fun. It was cool watching him read up. All right. Let me drink more Givo. Let's keep going. Oh, man. We are chapter 384. Yes, updated. Perfect. Let me move my chair a little bit more over here. I think this is good. I feel like I'd have to rotate my camera. No, it's a good spot right here. Yeah, it's a good spot. Let me make sure this is good. Bear with me. Oh. I think I need to work on my forearm strength, so I'm gonna be using this in the background. The more you read Elohim, the closer you are to the ultimate peak. Shit, bro. You know what's crazy? And you know what? I think I am gonna try and read just like 5 chapters of SSS over the weekend. I want to try it. I want to see. I want to see what it's like trying to read something else on the side, right? Like, so this is what I'm planning to do. On like a Saturday or Sunday, I read SSS, and on the other day, I'll read ROV, Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. I think I might do that. I'm gonna try that. SSS or SSS. Wait, no. SS. My bad. You mentioned yeah. Shadow Slave. My bad. So oh my god, I still need to go back and fucking finish SSS. But we are gonna start SS. You know what I mean? Did that make sense? Hi everyone, I couldn't sleep, so I'm watching the stream. Oh, thank you for tuning in, Sui. Not gonna lie, I got 5 people to watch the Dunghua when it comes out at my award ceremony. Wait, I got 5 people to watch the Dunghua when it comes out at my award ceremony? Yo, no, get a short novel, please. Bruh, I'm reading Shadow Slave to take a break from LO2M. Don't start a big novel? Yeah, it's like 2,000 chapters though, right? Well, look. Let's break it down a little bit. Like, if I realistically just try and read like 5 chapters on the weekend, I would be close to the end of volume 1, right? Like in a year, start Mother of Learning. People, yeah, you guys also did say Mother of Learning. I know that's a smaller series, right? But don't start a big novel. Okay. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll read the manhwa then for Omniscient Reader Viewpoint on top of SSS. I think I'll do that. And then, yeah, and then we can try Mother of Learning, because it said Mother Learning or APOV. Those were short, right? Okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah, and I was looking at it. People were like, yo, that's so hype, he's reading Shadow Slave. But then be like, holy shit. It's like, and then I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, it's 2,000 fucking chapters. Like, wait. It's like, damn, that's fucking long. I thought it was like a 200 chapter series, man. I didn't know it was 2,000. All right, but let's keep going. SS is awesome. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be reading that for sure. But I don't know how soon. Yeah, maybe we'll try a smaller one then in between. All right, 384. Let's continue. Make sure this is updated. We're good. Do I have my timestamp on the left? Yes, we're good. All right. Chapter 384 is called On Your Own. On Your Own, You Check Yourself. Wait, what? Let me read that again. On your own, you check yourself. An Empress Borough, the opulent villa of Count Hall, the aroma of Faina Potter's top quality Mount St. Dersey coffee blended with the splendid fragrance of the Queen's black tea to create an intoxicating sympathy of smells. They lingered around the elegant 3-tiered high tea tray that served delicious and delicate desserts. This was the high tea party organized by Audrey. She had invited her friends of blue blood parentage, all who were fellow enthusiasts in mysticism. They sat around her talking and laughing. Under Audrey's impeccable guidance, Jane, Muri, and the others became extremely interested in the Dark Emperor, the hero bandit who had appeared last night. All of them cast their eyes towards the noble-born Kans Lersheen, who had joined MI9. Ah, they're going to get it out of him. What beyond her powers does the Dark Emperor have? The sweet-looking Christine asked curiously. Among the few of them, the lowest rank among their fathers was that of Viscount. It allowed them to have sufficient status and channels to understand the existence of beyond her powers and potions in their endearing pursuit of mysticism. But just like Audrey before, they were all unwilling to join the Nighthawks of the mandated Punishers, the Machinery Hive Mind, and MI9. Other than that, the families that they belonged to didn't have histories they traced back to 1,000 years ago, and even the ancient aristocrats that had just been established in the 4th epoch of the Lowen Kingdom weren't completely loyal to the royal family or the upper echelons of the military. They weren't bestowed with any formulas, and even if they had beyond their ingredients, it was unlikely they could recognize them. They wouldn't even know how to use them, and even if they didn't recognize them, This limited the possibility of mirroring Christine and others and becoming Beyonders. They could only look forward to it, but it wasn't difficult for them to take that crucial step. As for whether or not their elders had collected the potion formulas and nurtured Beyonder and oh my god, I can't read. And nurtured Beyonders for their families, they were beyond their purview. After all, this wasn't allowed. If the king were to find out, they could use this as a reason to strip them of their noble titles. Of course, there were already two traitors in the living room. Audrey, who had advanced to Sequence 8 telepathist, and Viscount Glade. How is he a traitor? And Viscount Glade, who had gathered one potion of Beyonder ingredients. It wouldn't be long before he became an apocryphy. The tall, thin, young gentleman, Kans, took a sip of his coffee and said, I won't give you a direct answer, I'll just tell you some facts. Other than traces of a gas explosion in the dining room, look at this guy trying to be like, alright, I'll give you a little bit. Hello, Tim is on the shorter end? Bro, you're lying. Oh, they broke the law. That's true. They're wild beyonders. You would officially you have to do it through an organization. You're right. Them advancing without telling the king and stuff. You're right. Okay, thank you. It's technically illegal, right? Yeah, that's why like wild beyonders are, no pun intended, are such a wild card, right? Because you never know if they're good or bad. Got it. That's why it has to be like officially done, right? And approved. Got it. The tall, thin... I'll tell you some facts. Other than the trace of the gas explosion in the dining room where the battle happened, various means were used to detect poison, substitute specters, shrieks, bullets condensed with holy powder, and other elements. By the way, the Dark Emperor, no, Hero Bandit was in a specter state. It doesn't look like the person who had killed Rear Admiral Hurricane Quillingus. If only you knew it was connected. Nor does it look like the person who had dealt with Lenavus in the sewers is the person involved in Captain Case Mr. Fool's third adorer who had stole the Dark Emperor's card. There are at least 3 adorers in Backland alone. How many adorers does he have in total? That's so funny. Audrey's heart skipped a beat. What? Is she like catching feelings for like the idea of like the adorers and like, oh, the fool, like is she, I think over time like Audrey's gonna like fall in love not with Klein exactly, but like with the idea of like the fool, right? Like knowing a god. I think that's what's happening. Maybe I'm reading too much, bro. Stop. I think I'm reading too much into that. No, me myself. I don't mean in that way. Like she's in love with the idea of like helping like a god, right? Like I think that's like what's like gets her excited. Like, oh, this is so cool. This is fun. This is exhilarating. Even she said like she's matured with time. This is cool. Now and then Olga is like, oh. Olga's gonna be like, I love him. He is so cool. He's gonna be like, the fool is so badass. And then Derek is like, oh my god, like we're such a cool team together. Everybody in their own way is gonna like fall in love with the idea of the fool. Oh, it's so cool, dude. Hero Bandit was in the Spectre state. It doesn't look like... Well, I lost my place. There are at least 3 adorers in Beckland Low. How many adorers does he have in total? Audrey's heart skipped a beat as she deliberately asked, was there an intense Beyonder battle? Muri, under her lead, asked one step further. There were Beyonders at Captain's Place, relatively powerful Beyonders, and there was more than one. He's just a trafficker. Viscount Glade unconsciously expressed his doubt. Audrey maintained her faint smile and curious gaze, patiently waiting for her Kans's reply. Kans laughed and said, Murray's guess is correct. I can only say this much. Do you want me to be locked up by Captain? Captain Place has more than one relatively powerful Beyonder. Indeed, he's not an ordinary human trafficker. He might be involved in many matters regarding mysticism. Human trafficker, could he be involved in some cold sacrificial rite? Mr. Fool's door attacked because of this. It was roughly the same with Lenavus and involved a cult and sacrifices as well as the descent of the true creator. I wonder which cult and evil god is behind Capum. Mr. Fool's goal seems to have always been targeting these evil gods. Is it really strife between gods? Who knows how many grand schemes of those evil gods he has foiled? Audrey made many connections as her heart surged with emotions. Our Tarot Club's enemies are the evil gods. The rest aren't qualified? The rest aren't qualified. Oh, yeah, so we're still under the idea that the fool is an evil god. Yeah, like, I forget that sometimes. We are still under the assumption that people see Klein as, like, an evil god. And they probably think, like, oh, that's why he's targeting evil gods. Because the rest aren't qualified. Does Mr. Full wish to get the title of the nemesis of evil gods? Audrey pursed her lips and chuckled softly in her heart. Then she suppressed her emotions and secretly made a confession. Audrey, how can you do this? How can you use Mr. Fool as a joke? At noon, when Klein returned to Ming Street, he found as he had expected a letter from old Kohler, who had just paid a carriage driver to deliver his mailbox. This was their agreed upon contact method during an emergency. Of course, according to Klein's prediction, old Kohler, who didn't know many words, could only use simple symbols to tell him where and when they would meet. To his surprise, it was actually written in neat writing when he opened the letter. With a quick glance, Klein confirmed that it was identical to the handwriting in Daisy's vocabulary book. Looks like the girl was the one who helped Old Kohler write it. This piece of paper doesn't seem to be exposed to moisture. Perhaps Old Kohler had bought some in the event he needed to contact me urgently. Klein opened the door to the living room and read the letter. Only taking off his hat and cane, he learned that he leaned his cane against the wall. He didn't take off his coat because the fireplace in his room wasn't lit yet, and the early November cold was silently seeping into his bones. Like, shit, man, we're getting like the early summer already, dude. Like, it's almost summertime, dude. We're already, yeah, right? We're in spring. Well, like, the spring anime season started, and then, like, summer's coming up. The letter was simple, after all. Daisy didn't know many words either. She thanked the detective for her kindness and good intentions before telling him that she safely returned home, and she finally said, in a tactful way, that she hoped he would bring her vocabulary book with him the next time he came to Eastboro. What a polite girl, Klein chuckled. He snapped his fingers and burned the letter, leaving no clues behind. He decided to return to Eastboro the next day and returned the book to Daisy, as well as reimburse old Collier for the cost of the letter delivery, letters, papers, and fountain pens. With this in mind, he couldn't help but sigh and chortle. Captain, now it's my turn to prove the expense claims of others. Aww. I got a tear in my eye, man. I miss him, dude. I miss our captain, dude. Captain, now it's my turn to approve the existence claims of others. Without wasting any time, he went out again and went straight to Quilling Club, where Dr. Aaron was even more often during what? I can't read, man. Then died for our sin. It'd be bad. I feel like it'd dishonor his legacy. But like I'm hoping like in some way, shape, or form, bro, like we can see like his spirit, you know? Like not physically, right? Because he's physically dead. But like we know you can be in spirit form if the way this world is built up, there has to be an afterlife, right? Like if we know they can go in spirit form, there's like the lands of like we have the Forsaken Land, we have spirits, astral projections. The idea and the concept of an afterlife exists, right? So I'm hoping in some way, shape, or form, Klein can like tap into that for like help in some way. Too late, bro. I know like if the spirit isn't there, it disperses, right? Like I know like we can't do that. So I know his spirit left like the physical realm. In Lord of Mysteries. But what I'm saying, like in like the astral world, or like in some like deeper like form of an astral world, like we bring him back in some way, shape, or form to like help out Klein. Like maybe like Klein is like he's down in the gutter, he needs like just a little bit of help, and then you see like Dunn's hand like kind of like and like help him. Fuck, man. Like cause like there's no way we just keep talking about him and we don't do anything with it, because this breaks my heart. It breaks my heart every time I see him. His spirit is in the shadow realm. He's in the shadow realm, and I want some like in some way, shape, or form we have to go in the shadow realm and bring him back. Damn it, because this is so sad. Just him reminiscing. It breaks my heart, bro. Like I need to see him one more time. That or we write a fanfic to like say my fond memories of him, you know, because I miss him, dude. Captain, now it's my turn to approve the expense claims of others. Without wasting any time, he went out again and went straight to the Quilling Club, where Dr. Aaron was seen more often during Friday afternoons. Klein wanted to ask Will Acupin, the child who had played with tarot cards. After entering the Quilling Club in Hillstonboro, Klein said to the red-vested attendant, a cup of Merrick's black tea and a serving of dessert. Set into the corner of the seat of the main hall, Dr. Aaron, reporter Mike, and the others are sitting there. Klein had already spotted the relatively cold and famous surgeon, Aaron Cerise, who was wearing gold-rimmed glasses, as well as reporter Mike Joseph from the Daily Observer, who he had worked with twice, and he had a pair of charming blue eyes. He also saw the aristocratic equestrian teacher Talon Dumanet, whose oh my god, I can't read. Whose frequency of appearing at the club was only second to him. Oh, our great detective is here, and we happen to be talking about you. Talon stood up with a smile. Speaking bad things behind my back, Klein joked. Mike stood up and shook his head. No, I want to hire you again. What's the matter this time? Klein bowed at Dr. Aaron and sat down at their table. Mike chuckled and said, I'm sure you've read papers. Captain had been killed off by the hero bandit Dark Emperor, and his crimes have been exposed. What a joyous event. As a reporter, I need to have an acumen for the news. I plan to get a list of names of the girls who were rescued in Eastboro for the police department to interview them. Then I'll paint Captain's most cruel, most evil, most unforgivable sides to the readers of the newspapers. Of course, the victims must remain anonymous. He paused for a moment and suppressed his voice. I also have a hidden objective, or should I say, I wish to use the interview to know if these girls or their family know any relatively special friends who knows that might be hero bandit Dark Emperor. You found the right person. The corners of Klein's mouth almost twitched. He's like, speaking of him, you're looking right at him, bro. He smiled at Mike and said, we've already worked together on East Borough's matters. We have sufficient familiarity and trust, so I have no reason to decline. Sometimes people die. I know Bullseye. And like I think that's what made Dunn Smith so like powerful, right? Like he was such like a beautiful character to like read, man. He was so funny, he was charming, he was serious when he had to, and like he was like such a good role model, and like losing him, that messed me up, man. Klein's secret identity is he truly is Batman. Literally, dude. He's being Bruce Wayne right now. Like, oh, Batman. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, dude. He smiled at Mike and said, we've already worked together on Eastboro matters. We have sufficient familiarity and trust, so I have no reason to decline. I hope for a pleasant partnership. Mike stretched out his hand. We'll start tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and we'll be paid the same as last time for a total of 10 pounds. At that moment, Dr. Aaron, who had been listening by his side, said, Sherlock, I want to hire you as well. This evening or afternoon. It looks like my business is improving recently, Klein asked, amused. Will it conflict with Mike's request? No, Aaron shook his head. My luck recently has been pretty good. This makes me suspect that my bout of bad luck was beautiful than child's was what? Made me suspect that my bout of bad luck was because of that child's inverted Wheel of Fortune card and the words he said. I'm very troubled and puzzled in this regard. I swear to God that I was very nice to him and I treated him with the best of intentions. Why would he treat me in that way? I wish to visit him at his place and confirm that he didn't do it on purpose. However, I'm ultimately afraid that something similar would happen again or some accident might occur. Therefore, I wish to hire you to protect me. Just for tonight, it won't conflict with Mike's request. How about it? He wants him to like I need a bodyguard because this child is gonna kill me, dude. That's what I wanted to do. After challenging the impossible and doing good deeds, my moral standing has become pretty good. Am I really going to become the king of yellow and black who wields good luck? Literally who wields good luck. Yeah, Klein was pleasantly surprised as he said with a reserved smile, no problem. We can talk about the remuneration. City of Silver. Here we go. City of Silver. Derek Burke once again examined the translucent worm. Oh, we're back with a worm. Derek Burke once again examined the translucent worm with 12 circles, the remaining of Amon's avatar. He had originally wanted to ask Mr. Fool what this was exactly, but considering how he had already troubled this godlike figure once, he couldn't bring himself to ask as he abandoned this plan. Now he planned on showing it at the next Tarot gathering and asked Mr. Hangman, Miss Justice, and the rest. After hiding he's just like hiding a worm, bro. After hiding the worm, Derek suddenly thought of something. It was about the time for the team that had gone to the shepherd Elder Lovia to explore the half-destroyed temple of the fallen creator to return. It wasn't too far from the City of the Silver, and it was in the direction that they hadn't set foot in before. Don't tell me Shepherd Elder Lovia is going to be the only one that returns. So it's like the cycle repeats itself, right? It wasn't too far from the City of Silver, maybe one would say 2 weeks. And it was in the direction that they hadn't set foot in before. He decided to take a look. There were quite a few people that he knew among the expedition team. Oh, he decided to take a look. There were quite a few people that he knew that were among the expedition team. Not that he sees them and there were quite a few people. Okay, update. Let's update. A story about love. One would say that's what our fanfic was earlier today. 85. Lovia illustration. I have not seen her illustration. But you want to play World is White? Say no more. Say no more. I got you. Let's play it. Let's play it. My God, that was such a bad sneeze. Woo! Woo! That was so loud. I had to mute it, man. I felt like it. Woo! That would have scared you guys. All right, we'll play it. We'll play it. Well, how does this one feel? Don't lie. We have shown you Lovia. No, you haven't. You guys have shown me the captain. The captain looked like girl to Rivia. I remember him. I don't remember Lovia. Okay. Wait, hold up. Do you guys want me to play this one? Listen to it. This one's called Shadow Lord's Castle. Does this one fit, Cammy, or should we just play World is White? Let me look up World is White in the meantime. But if this fits, let me know. I put World of Light, my bad. World is White. That's the Smash Bros. Strong. We can't play that one. Oh, let's meet that sponsor. What do you want to fish, Klein? What? We're fishing? Alright, mom's on my G-File. Oh, my PC has an update. Love his mommy. Mamma mia. We definitely gotta look at that artwork. Fits? It's good? Bet. So, let me loop this one. We are at 380, 385. 59 minutes. 21 seconds. Copy, paste. Beautiful. We're good right here. 385. Fits? Alright, fits. Alright, here we go. Chapter 385 is called A Story About Love. Looking at the dark sky being lit up by the streaks of lightning, Derek didn't knock on the doors of the few acquaintances he knew. Instead, he walked along the broadest road and walked all the way to the training field at the edge of the city of Silver. After each exploration team returned, they were forced to stay here for a certain period of time. Not only would it be convenient for them to communicate and report on the things they encountered in the darkness, but they would also be quarantined in a tactful manner to guard against the strange things that might latch onto any member's body and suddenly erupt after a certain amount of time. This was the result of the City of Silver's 2,000 years of experience. It wasn't that complicated, but it was quite useful. As soon as he entered the training grounds with the axe of Hurricane stuffed behind his waist, Derek Berg's eyes suddenly lit up. He saw the gorgeous elder Lovia, who seemed to be in her 30s, as well as two familiar faces that were his age. I thought it was implied she was old, but the word elder threw me off. He saw the gorgeous elder Lovia, who seemed to be in her 30s, as well as two familiar faces that were his age. Due to the City of Silver's limited environment, its population was unable to grow any further. The number of people of a certain age group was an adequate number, and although Derek wouldn't dare say he knew all of them, he had seen a majority of them before. He saw classmates and partners with some of them during general education classes and on the practice grounds. The person Derek was most familiar with on the expedition team was Dark Reganis, who had once become his patrol teammate. The youngster named Dark was of the medium height and was slightly chubby. He was strong, optimistic, and cheerful. His face often beamed with a friendly smile. Currently, he was a Sequence 8 gladiator of the Giant Pathway. At this moment, the two parties were separated by a translucent wall that was as hard as steel, making it impossible for them to make an effective form of contact. They had to wait until the members of the exploration team were confirmed to have no problem before they could meet directly. Derek, who had become silent and withdrawn since death of his parents, waved it to Dark. Noticing this, the gladiator turned his head to the side and looked over. Dark, how was it? You didn't encounter any dangers, did you? Dark shouted. The material used to create the black wall in the area came from somewhere that wasn't far from the City of Silver and was called Dark Amber. It was hard as steel, but at the same time, it possessed a certain degree of transparency. and had properties that made it good for transmitting sound. Derek's speech went through unobstructed. Derek imagined that Dark... Oh, I dropped my mic. Derek... Oh, that was bad. Oh, we're still good? Does it work? We're good, right? Derek imagined that Dark would definitely... Wait, I'm lost in place. Derek imagined that Dark would definitely smile brightly and wave his arms out of habit, saying, "Take a look, I'm not injured at all, so shouldn't it be obvious that we didn't meet any danger? It was nothing." Hearing his voice, Dark walked a few steps closer to the wall and answered with a smile. "No, everything went smoothly." Cap. He's hiding something. Looking at a smile without any faults, Derek suddenly felt a chill run down his body. It was just like he was camping in a ruined tower of a ruined city at night. Darkness was all around him as they accumulated into the overwhelming horror. Inside the quelling... Oh, something bad happened. One would say maybe he's being possessed by a parasite. Wait, don't say average age yet. Don't reveal that. Wait. Don't reveal what's the average age. Like average age depends upon the sequence. I know you can like prolong your longevity through like digesting. Like we know like sequence 0, you're gods. I assume you're immortal. Demon gods or angels, who knows? They probably live for like hundreds, thousands of years. A high sequence beyonder could probably be over like 100 years old, and maybe that's how we meet Roselle's kids. And Roselle, or maybe it's a stretch, right? But like, wait, don't give away just yet how old a high sequence beyonder, like how old like the others are. Hold on, wait, we don't want to reveal that just yet. Inside the Quilling Club, Klein and Dr. Aaron agreed on the remuneration, £2. I read that so wrong. I have to say that a doctor's money sure is easy to earn. If it were me in the past, such a request would have cost me at least 10 soli. Klein, who already had the intention to take the mission, sighed in his heart. He remembered that during his time with the Nighthawks, he had heard of corpse collector Fryer mention that famous doctors had very high incomes. I miss Fryer. I hope we see them soon, man. At the time, in a response that was unlike the poet Leonard Mitchell, he said that as far as he knew, if a house was bought in a busy borough in Backland for a storefront, the quickest option would be to turn it into a clinic. They agreed to call on Will Acupin's place after dinner. It wasn't 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so the equestrian teacher Talon gathered the three of them together at the table, and they began playing a game of Upgrade. The game, which was invented by Emperor Rizal. What I expected was to play tennis, practice shooting, flip through the books in the library, and live a healthy life. But why did it become like this? Klein spontaneously thought in between the card game. Frankly, with his current accomplishments in magic, he could have easily cleared out all the money Dr. Aaron, reporter Mike, and Talon had on them. But I'm an honest man, and I believe more in my skills and luck. As the red-vested attendant shuffled the cards, Klein picked up a cream cracker and took a savory bite. He couldn't help but marvel from the bottom of his heart. From the bottom of his heart, this is life. During the game, Klein noticed one thing. The equestrian teacher, Talon, was no longer in a daze or upset as he was before. Has the matter of his friend falling in love with someone he should... I forgot about that. Has the matter of his friend falling in love with someone he shouldn't have been resolved? Klein thought curiously as he sipped the Marquis black tea. As a detective, he knew that this wasn't something he should ask in front of others, so he restrained himself and concentrated on his card game. By 5 o'clock, Mike Joseph had to go back to his company, so the game was suspended and Klein won 5 soli. My luck has been quite good recently. While Klein sighed with relief, he saw Dr. Aaron leave the table from the washroom. He controlled his voice and said with a low voice, "Talon, has your friend's problem been settled?" Talon, who was throwing the cards in his hand on the table, paused for a second before sighing with a smile. "You could say so." He had it with a certain desire to continue. "Actually, it wasn't too serious. It was because I was thinking too much at the time. Simply put, it was an illustrious young gentleman who fell in love with a commoner. You should know that a man of such status has to marry a noble lady. To him, not even the daughter of a rich man could do. So that's how it is. To think that I made up all sorts of contrived and bizarre stories, such as falling in love with a man, a monster, or a person that isn't permitted because of moral principles." Klein was disappointed and said with a laugh, "As far as I know, gentlemen of high society don't mind having a mistress. No, Sherlock, you don't understand. Love, do you get it? Love. The young gentleman only wants to marry that commoner girl." Talon exclaimed with a sigh. "No, I don't understand. I'm just a bachelor dog." Klein opened his mouth, unable to respond. Talon signed to himself. For the sake of the young gentleman's future, I once thought of asking you to find people with some miraculous abilities to covertly, Anyways, I'm a law-abiding citizen, so it was just an idea. What, to take her out? Damn. How was the matter resolved afterward? Klein asked with interest. Talon picked up the Highlander coffee and took a sip. The solution was much simpler than I thought. I went straight to the lady and told her of the dilemma. She sensibly expressed her willingness to leave the gentleman and ask for my help. I must say that she's truly considering kind, refined, and beautiful girl. If it wasn't for the consideration of my identity, perhaps I would have knelt in front of her and kissed the back of her hand. Well, it seems like I couldn't have helped. Klein picked up the golden-rimmed white porcelain cup of the black tea. As a visitor from Earth, he was completely uninterested in the task of breaking up couples. However, listening to the gossip was another matter altogether. Like, I will listen to all this gossip. After having dinner at the Quilling Club and tasting the limited supply of Sonia lobsters, Klein and Dr. Aarons took the ladder carriage to Will Occupant's house at 66 Dalton Street in Northborough. This was the address of Dr. Aaron had long since memorized. He didn't return to the hospital to look at the appropriate medical records, and according to Klein's conjecture and relevant information pertaining to Will Occupant would likely have been taken away by the Nighthawks. As a former Nighthawk, I know exactly how they do things. Klein smiled bitterly inside, pulling the doorbell, and the two waited for a while before they saw the door open. A maid in a black and white dress puzzlingly asked, "Gentlemen, who are you looking for?" Seeing that Aaron was still as cold as usual, Klein took the initiative to speak. "We're looking for Will Occupant. This was his attending physician. He came back to check on his health. I don't know him. I've only been here for a few days. I'll get my master. Please wait a moment." The maid answered blankly. While they were waiting, Aaron suddenly said, "I almost believe the reason you came up with just now. This is basic quality of being a detective." Klein chuckled. At that moment, an old gentleman in his 50s walked to the door and said with a deep voice, "Well, Occupant and his family have already moved away on." He gave a date. Aaron did a slight count before frowning. Why would they go through the trouble of moving 2 days after being discharged for the hospital after the operation? Question, do you guys hear a car? Do you guys hear an alarm or no? I thought Will's last name was Occupant for the longest time because it rolls off the tongue better. I can't even pronounce it. That doesn't even roll off my tongue well. Question, do you guys hear a car or should I wait? Or are we good? Should we just keep reading? I lied. It's cool. It doesn't matter. The car stopped. I heard a car alarm, but I don't know if you guys were able to hear that. Okay, we can continue. Aaron did a slight count before frowning. Why would they go through the trouble to move 2 days after being discharged from the hospital after the operation? He acted like he was really on a follow-up visit. Klein was slightly puzzled and asked, "Sir, how do you know the date so clearly? Typically speaking, subsequent tenants would only move in after a certain period of time." The old gentleman snappily replied, "Someone came to ask me, and I even went to look for the landlord just for that." The Nighthawks, Klein asked without much hope. "Do you know where Will Occupant and his family moved to?" "No," the old man said tersely. "Did they leave anything behind?" Klein hesitated for a moment before continuing with his questions. "Some stuff." The old man took a deep breath and continued, "But they were all taken away by the previous group of people. Meeting colleagues truly is a helpless matter. They can always think of things you think of ahead of time." Klein couldn't help but sigh. Seeing that there were no further clues, Klein and Aaron politely excused themselves and left 66 Dalton Street. "It seems like you'll have to wait a long time before you can resolve your doubts." Klein turned to Dr. Aaron. Aaron was silent for a few seconds, then he slowly let out a breath. "After what happened just now, I'm not so troubled anymore. I'm just a doctor, and it's good enough to mind my own affairs. I should return to do a follow-up check and not question the situation, what other people think or why they're not kind. That shouldn't be something I should be concerned with. In the future, I should just try to maintain the relationships between a doctor and a patient as much as possible. It's for the best that you can think this way." Klein agreed from the bottom of his heart. Then he casually asked, "At that time, what was wrong with Will Occupant's left leg?" I keep saying his last name wrong. Will Ausetine, as in Audi Haley. I butchered that. I am so sorry. Wait, let's see. What was wrong with Will's left leg? His left calf grew a strange tumor that coincidentally formed a ring. Wait. We have worms with rings, and now we have legs with rings. What? Hold up. His left calf grew a strange tumor that coincidentally formed a ring that pressed down heavily onto his blood vessels. Dr. Aaron recalled, and he said, but the kid didn't look too upset, just a little scared, and we wanted to preserve the leg at first, but it was getting worse. Don't try to pronounce it better. I think we butchered it even more when we try to do it better. Wait, okay. So we have worms with legs, and coincidentally, we're seeing kids' calves grow tumors in the shape of a ring. And the next chapter is called A Nightmare. Okay. Okay. Let's update, and I think we're gonna read one more chapter before we end today. Hold up. Wait, heads up. I think I'm just gonna read one more chapter, and then I am gonna call it. Wait, hold up. What the fuck? Use Google? I will use Google Chan one time. Let's see. Hold up. Google Translate. Let's use Google Chan one time. Hold up. Can't even spell. How do I spell his name? Hold up. What's his full name? Can you guys put in the chat? Oh, I see it. A-U-C-E-P-T-I-N-E. Here we go. Wait. We're gonna use Google Translate once.
Aseptine. Aseptine.
Aseptine?
Aseptine.
Aseptine?
Aseptine.
Aseptine?
Aseptine.
Accept?
Aseptine. Aseptine.
It's good? See? I say like that. Aseptine?
Aseptine.
Like assumption? Is it like assumption? Assumption?
Aseptine. Aseptine.
Aseptine. Aseptine. Oh, I got it. Okay, we're good. All right, we're good. We're good. Aseptine. 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 Got it. Got it. Australia's Oz, like an Aussie? Aussie. Yeah, I once met an Australian, and I was like, bro, can you like, well, like, what is the most Australian thing you can say, brother? And he's like, water. He's like, was that Aussie enough for you? And I'm like, whoa, I've never heard an Australian accent in my life. I was like, dude, it's so cool, dude. Funny encounter. That was a good encounter. Fond memories. That was a good encounter with an Australian. Is that what you were? Australians Oz? Will Aseptine. I like this name, by the way. I like the name. I do like the name. All right, let's do one more chapter. We're going to finish strong. And then I am going to head out. And then it's 50-50 if I'm back tomorrow. 50-50. Tomorrow's stream is 50-50. Let me just put today's chapter. A Nightmare. Damn. That's a good chapter title. That's a damn good chapter title. I fight gator. My country is upside down and these spiders are 20 foot long. Kangaroo, my most stereotypical Australian impression. Alright, let's finish this stream strong, brothers and sisters. Let's do one more. You guys ready? I'm ready. Chapter 386 is called A Nightmare. Now, is it going to be like Nightmare, like when Dunn Smith stole Klein's food? Or is it going to be like a nightmare? Oh, I think it is a nightmare because we're in City of Silver. Okay, here we go. Derek Berg had no idea how he got home. All he remembered was this He doesn't even know how he got home. Derek Burke had no idea how he got home. All he remembered was the indescribable horror. Dark Regnant's character and behavior didn't appear too different from his former self. However, it was true that there was a chance to him that was unsettling. Derek was afraid that the City of Silver would be targeted by the evil god, the fallen creator. Afraid that the City of Silver would be obliterated before he could become the sun, saving it from its more than 2,000-year-long curse, and give people the hope and sunshine to the residents here. At that moment in time, he hated himself for not being strong enough, and that he was still only at sequence 8. No, I can't just watch idly. Derek suddenly stood up and he prepared to rush to the spire and tell the other elders of the 6th council member and Chief Colin Iliad of what he had discovered. However, Derek knew that such anomalies weren't suspicious. Every time they explored the depths of the darkness, the members would have a period of intense tension lasting for days, tens of days, or even more than a month. In addition, the uninhabited, desolate plains and the hopeless journey would bring about extreme depression. In addition, in order to be safe, the members of the exploration team wouldn't be allowed to release any sexual urges that had been pent up during their excursions, which caused them to act differently after every exploration. If they ended up with more than half of the team ending up dead or injured, a huge chance in personality wasn't a rare occurrence. The manner of handling such people could only be dealt with via the usual quarantine and treatment with almost zero expectations. The City of Silver had the first 3 sequences of the Dragon Pathway, so there were no lack of psyche analysts and analysts. Derek rushed to the door and suddenly slowed down. This is getting kind of scary. He knew that this method of reporting to the 6 council members might not be effective. It would likely arouse suspicion, and there might even be the threat of being targeted by Shepherd Elder Lovia. After pacing back and forth for more than 10 seconds, Derek gritted his teeth and pulled the door open. He felt that he had to warn the elders of the 6-member council, even if it would be a huge risk to him. For the vast majority of residents of the City of Silver, sacrificing their lives to maintain the existence of this city and the continuation of this civilization was a belief that was ingrained into their bones. So, like, even if he's, like, suspected, like, he has to do it. Like, this is what he was taught. Selfish people often didn't believe long in such environments, regardless of whether it was outside or inside. Of course, Derek wasn't completely reckless. Under the tutelage of the members of the Terror Club, especially the Hangman, he clearly understood that there were times when one had to be patient, protect himself properly, and avoid unnecessary sacrifices in order to better defend the City of Silver. And I'll only talk about the abnormality I observed. It shouldn't be dangerous. Derek consoled himself, running faster and faster. Finally, he saw the spire that represented the highest authority in the City of Silver. He's seeing like a spire, right? He found the Beyonder on duty and made a request to meet with the chief. To Derek's surprise, the Beyonder didn't ask the usual questions. After simply passing on the information, he was led... Oh my god, Wiz, you gotta be careful. Wait, Wiz, hold up. What's up, brother? Just be careful. Yeah, hold up. Wait, hold up. Hold up. I think something crazy is about to happen. You should be really careful. Oh, man. The chapter numbers, did I not update it? Oh, we're on chapter 38. It was off. Won't be long, but careful. I'm scared, man. I don't want to read this. I don't know if, like, they're onto him. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. I'm scared. I hope he's okay. I lost my place. To Derek's surprise, the Beyonder didn't ask the usual questions. After simply passing on the information, he was led up the stairs to the chief's room. Very strange. It's different from before. Derek felt the changes and the details made him more uneasy. Entering the room, he saw Chief Colin Iliad standing in front of the door. Oh, he's already there. This tall elder with his deep blue eyes and messy white hair had his back facing 2 swords that hung on the wall. He wore his usual flaxen-colored shirt and brown coat, and it was hard to believe that he was an expert who had successfully hunted many devils and monsters. Derek Berg, what matter would actually require you to tell me face to face, Colin asked in a deep voice. Your Excellency, Derek saluted. I met the team that was sent to explore the temple at the training grounds today. I found that Dark Regas, I can't even pronounce his name. Dark Regans? I know had experienced a strange change. He's no longer as cheerful as he was before, and his smile is as polite as the strangers. Also, Elder Lavia doesn't frequently change the way she speaks like she usually did. Colin looked deeply at Derek and asked in a low voice, just these 2 things? Yes. Derek lowered his head. I think there might be something unusual about it. Colin waved his hand and said, I got it. I'll get Alfer to do an investigation. You may return. In the future, you just need to report such matters to the Guardian of the Spire directly. Alfer was the City of Silver's most experienced psychic analyst who was close to Sequence 6. It was a pity that there were no potion formulas after Sequence 7. After receiving such an answer, Derek left gloomy. Looking at Derek's back as he disappeared by the door, Colin sighed in disappointment. After talking to Dr. Aaron about Will Occupant's situation for a while, Klein got off the carriage and took the steam metro. After 3 stops, he arrived near Mink Street and switched to a trackless public carriage to return home. As it was still early, he used divination to confirm the previous tenant wasn't lying, and then he deliberately continued to study the Book of Secrets. Ever since he had obtained this mysterious book, Klein's use of the mysterious space above the Grey Fog became more and more ingenious as he completed more and more outstanding techniques. What limits me now is my own sequence, my own strength, and my spirituality. Late at night, Klein hid the Book of Secrets and went to the bathroom to wash up in preparation for bed. That night, he slept soundly. Even the church bells in the morning only made him turn over. Winter is the best time to stay in bed. Klein grunted and got up. To reward the hero bandit Dark Emperor, he had a what? A sugared hard-boiled egg and strawberry jam he specifically bought to match with white bread. Just as he was enjoying his meal, the doorbell suddenly rang. Didn't I tell Mike to come after breakfast? He took a sip of the sweet soup and wiped his mouth with a napkin. According to his agreement, reporter Mike, he would only arrive half an hour after breakfast before they began interviewing the rescued girls of Eastboro. If Mike didn't appear half an hour, then it meant that the matter would be delayed by a day. Klein walked to the door, but before he could reach out his hand, the outline of a visitor appeared in his mind. He wasn't reporter Mike Joseph, but Dr. Darren Aaron Series. Good morning, Aaron. Didn't you sleep late at night? Klein noticed that Aaron's face was pale, so he quietly activated his spirit vision to take a look. Aaron took off his hat and cane and started to take off his coat hat, but the cold air in the room stopped him. Klein laughed dryly and said, "As you know, I'm going out today. Mike might come looking for me, so I didn't light up a fireplace." Aaron nodded and didn't say anything. He followed Klein into the living room, and he found a seat and sat down. "Sherlock, I had a nightmare last night. I dreamt about that child, Will Asupiton? Nightmare. This is within the limits of my knowledge. I'm a professional when it comes to interpreting dreams. Far more professional than deductions." Klein leaned forward, clasped his hands, and said, "What kind of nightmare?" Aaron recalled and said, "There are some details and processes that I cannot remember. What I remember most is the tall pitch black steeple with a huge silver snake coiled around it. It was moving slowly, looking at me with its cold, merciless red eyes. I don't know why, but I entered the step something, and I would go upstairs and at other times down the stairs, go through the walls, after the walls, and one locked door after another. Finally, I found a child called Will in a dark corner. He hopped a few steps on one leg and curled up against the wall, with the tarot cards scattered everywhere besides him. When he saw me, he was scared and happy. He called out, 'Dr. Aaron.' The whole dream was roughly like that before I woke up." Klein listened attentively and thought for a while before asking, "Did Will Asupiton say anything else?" I said it wrong, sorry. Aaron frowned and thought before suddenly saying, Yes, he said, "Dr. Aaron, a snake wants to eat me." A snake wants to eat me. Bruh, is my stream lagging? Because why my deities taking so long? Maybe it is. Ellie! You're such a good girl. Come here, Ellie. Come here. Come on. Look at you roll over. Look at you roll over. Come here. You're such a beautiful girl. Come on. Hi. Ew, you smell. What the heck? Did you go to the bathroom? Damn, Ellie. Shit. My OBS crashed. Oh, no. Are we still live? People, control yourself. Wait. Stream just lagged? Yes, stream lagged. My OBS crashed again. I think it's because I haven't updated it. Okay, so stream my unironically randomly cut, like last time when we had streaming issues. That's why my deletes ain't working. That's probably why. Lag, but live? Okay. If it randomly cuts after we finish, we probably won't even do an outro. I'll just upload it. Or I'll just go live for a few minutes so we can do our outro together. Okay, but let's finish. Let's finish. No. You walked in. Now you gotta stay with me to finish this video. Okay? No. Don't come scratching on my door and then ask to go out all of a sudden when I'm holding you. You gotta chill, girl. We'll be done in a few minutes, and then we're gonna go out together, okay? Cool? Capiche? Okay. No? I'm almost done. No, you wanted to come in, now you gotta finish the chapter with me. Sorry, tough love. Don't scratch on my door and then get mad when I'm holding you. Let me hold her. Scuffed stream Saj. Hey, chill, you're gonna fall. Hold up, don't do that. That's dangerous. All right, let's continue. Let's finish strong. Let me find my place. I found my place. He said, "Snakes want to eat me." Dr. Aaron, a snake wants to eat me. Following that, a giant silver snake hung down from the ceiling, its head facing me. That is scary. Its mouth was very big, but it had no teeth, no tongue, and it was completely blood red. Silver giant snake, a pitch black steep whale occipital protected under the layers of protection, Klein said to Dr. Aaron in a measured voice. It's not a very strange dream. It's likely you have subconsciously you subconsciously sensing some kind of predicament he was in while you were talking to Will, that he was being threatened by something. That's why you dreamed of something like this. A child hiding in the depths of a tall steep behind countless walls and doors, huge silver snakes coiling around the top of the steep. Heh. As a detective, we know a little bit of psychology. It's also often talked about in newspapers. What I don't understand is why you didn't have such a dream until today. Klein didn't lie about his interpretation, but he didn't reveal the possible true reasons behind it. Aaron opened his mouth and said, I was in too much of a hurry just now and forgot to mention something. As he spoke, he took out a letter wallet and took out a fairly exquisitely folded paper crane. Hey, what? What? What are you doing? I love you, Ellie. Can you chill? We're almost done. After realizing that Will and his family had moved away, I remember that he had given me this before he left the hospital, saying, Doctor, this will bring you good luck. I didn't pay much attention to it at the time and casually threw it into the office drawer. After parting with you last night, I went to retrieve it and put it in my wallet. As a result, I had a nightmare that very night. Klein looked at the paper crane, nodded thoughtfully, and said, Dr. Aaron, it looks like Will didn't deliberately bring you bad luck. He had made up for it later. The paper crane invented by Emperor Roselle is meant to act as a symbolism for wishing you well. Besides, he said it would bring you good luck. Aaron subconsciously asked, origami was invented by Emperor Roselle? An origami? I don't know if it's him, but I think it's likely him. Klein smiled. Probably. I'm kind of confused. So, it was an origami? Wait, let's pause. And let's do our overall thoughts. I was a little confused right there. I'm not gonna lie. Hey. Hey. Hi. We're gonna chill. We're gonna stop, okay? Calm down. Calm down, Ellie. Hold up. Roselle the goat. Overall thoughts. Yeah, so I think we're gonna end stream today right here. But these are our overall thoughts. We're gonna do our overall thoughts. That's just a paper crane. Roselle invented paper folding. So Roselle was the one that invented like origamis, right? Oh, did I not update it? Oh, thank you, you beautiful man. Thank you. Yeah, so Roselle plagiarized cranes. He plagiarized another invention yet again. He plagiarized paper cranes, right, Ellie? He plagiarized cranes, Ellie? He plagiarized cranes. Aaron gave him one and said this would be good luck. Ellie! Well, I'm gonna do this while we're doing our outro. What are we doing? Huh? What are you doing? Look, she just wanted attention. I'll give you attention from right here. Hold up. So, Aaron gave him an origami and said this will bring you good luck. But him putting that in his wallet unironically gave him bad luck in retrospect, right? With a nightmare? Will gave Aaron one. He was Will gave Aaron one. Oh, okay. Hi, Ellie. Can you, like, chill? I'm trying to do an outro here. Hey. This is our outro, okay, Ellie? No? Why are we saying no? I read that wrong? Okay, I did read it wrong. But let me do the outro part, and then we can keep talking. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Sorry, today's stream was a little scuff. I was kind of low energy. I was kind of out of it when we were reading. Outro on the floor. We are doing the outro on the floor because our beautiful Ellie is trying to play. She couldn't wait anymore. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this beautiful little dog. Come here, Ellie. Look at her. But yeah, I think this was the outro. Look at this dog. Look at her in her beautiful glory. Hi, Ellie. Hi. You want to see our outro with us? You can say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay? Ow! You bit my nose. Get out of here. Let me do my outro. Alright. Alright, guys. Have a beautiful day. You like what you see? You want to see more? Friday, it's 50-50, but I will see you guys over the weekend. And we might potentially be starting a new series. Bye, guys. I do indeed. Hi. Wait, we stopped the recording. So I'm gonna head out. Announce it. I'll announce it. This is what I'm probably gonna do. I'll probably just set the time for the stream right now or in a few hours. And then depending on how I feel when I wake up or I find out how busy I'm gonna be tomorrow, I'll just cancel it. Ellie says goodbye. Look at her. She wants to fucking go out for a run. You want to go out for a run? I didn't go to the gym because my legs are sore. Okay. Whoa. I'll end stream right now. Hold up. Hi, Ellie. Hi. Come here. Come here. Why are you biting me? Why are your teeth still growing and you're trying to bite stuff or what? Hi. Did you calm down? She calmed down. Ellie, I was looking at, you know, it was cute. I went back. Look at her. Look at this beautiful little dog. I love you, Ellie. Oh, look, I'm crying just saying I love her. I love this fucking dog, man. She's made me so much happier than don't get me wrong. I love everybody in my inner circle, but this dog has brought me so much happiness when I'm not with people in my inner circle. Are you sleepy? I'm telling you, man, she's always sleeping like by my legs. And when I was in Japan, I was so lonely without my dog, man. Like, I realized how lonely I felt sleeping like by myself over there. I'm like, damn. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my girlfriend. But I was like, I miss my dog, bro. Hi. Do you want to go out? Yeah, you want to go out for a little walk? It looks like you want to walk. I love you, Ellie. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry I'm stalling this outro. Hi. You're so beautiful, Ellie. Justice to Captain. How could you? Ellie's a spectator. Yeah, look, she's spectating, dude. She has fully digested. I think she's gonna pass Susie by next stream, dude. I used to cry and ask for pics for my dogs too back when I went vacationing. Oh, really? Yeah, man, it was funny. My girlfriend called me during my puppy's birthday, during when Ellie turned 1. I got a little emotional, man. It was super cool. So I went up to take a picture at the Hachiko statue when Ellie turned 1. And then they FaceTimed me right after. It was cool. And then what I did, I put a picture of Ellie on my phone next to Hachiko. So when they took a picture of me, it was like Ellie was with me in the picture because it's like my phone was propped right next to me. It was pretty cool. So it's like Ellie was with me at the Hachiko statue in spirit, and then we went on the quick video call, and like I saw her, and they brought her a little cake. It was so cute. Huh, Ellie? All right, say bye. Say bye, Ellie. All right. Take care, guys, and I will see you guys either tomorrow, Friday, or over the weekend. Or if I'm not going to do anything later once the videos are up and I just want to rest, I might just turn on streaming again, play some Monster Hunter, and then just play like other music in the background to see if it gets copyrighted or not. But until then, peace. Have a beautiful day. Later, guys. Yes.